Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to Mystery Detectives. Special episode. Nancy Drew recap. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna cry instantly.
Nope, not yet. Not yet.
No,
Good.
I have to.
I can't. I'm basically my idea going into this is going to be play a fun game. When is Megan gonna break? Could be any fucking second. I mean, that's just kind of my life. At what point am I gonna break it into tears? Mm-hmm. Who knows? I don't.
Who knows? Could
literally be any moment of the day, so we'll see.
It's true. I'm always moments from tears.
Yeah.
Constantly. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our recap of Mystery Detectives. Some of you... Kim is super quiet, by the way.
Okay.
Fix me.
How about now?
Is that better?
I don't know.
I'm gonna keep talking.
Keep talking.
Some of you have joined us from the very beginning, and some of you are recent additions to the Mystery Detectives family, which means that there may have been some things that came up in old games that you forget, references that we still make to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to explain it all. And if you were there from the beginning, we're gonna recap it all to the best of our ability. Megan and I asked each other if we wanted to look up the synopses of these games so that we could more accurately recap. We didn't.
That sounds like too much work.
That sounds like a lot of work. So we're just going to make our best guesses.
Yep.
At what happened in some of these games that we played like almost 2 years ago.
Yep. Yep.
So Megan, how did Mystery Detectives begin?
Well, Kim, the story goes, according to legend.
Yep, tell me.
So Kim and I got cast in the Crit Show in February of 2020.
Yes, 2020.
And we were both super excited, and we were talking like, hey, I'm so happy that we're doing this together, and this is going to be really exciting because we both had been fans of the Crit Show for a long time. And we had been talking about, like, not knowing what this is going to look like, we should do something together. Like, maybe it's just like a Twitch stream or something. Or, you know, we play games or something. And we had previously, in the Discord for the Crit Show, talked about how we both grew up playing the Her Interactive Nancy Drew mystery PC games. I grew up playing them with my mom.
And I grew up playing them with my twin sister.
Yeah, so I had gone through all of them up to, I think, Deadly Device, had just come out when I went to college, and so I didn't get to play that one with my mom, but I had played all of them. And then I ended up playing all of them over again during college, after college. Or not all of them, but several of them. Maybe all of them. Up to Iceland. Wasn't that long ago.
Sea of Darkness?
Sea of Darkness, because Sea of Darkness came out, and then there was a really big gap between that and Midnight in Salem, and I had started Midnight in Salem, and then it wasn't working well on my computer, surprisingly, and I just never played it. So we had kind of bonded over our love of these games when we were kids, and so we were like, we should just play Nancy Drew, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's just stream that. Let's just play Nancy Drew. And it was, really just going to be a really chill, like, let's just start from the beginning and go through these games and just hang out together and spend some, like, time kind of getting to bond as castmates. We'd, done that as friends, but we were like, well, we want to do something that's special that's, just you and me. We decided, like, hey, let's keep talking about this. And so I would message her and be like, we do need to figure out a time that we can, figure out this, like, mystery detective show that we want to put together. And it was just kind of this vague, nebulous, like...
Mystery detectives.
This mystery, like, detectives kind of game show, whatever. And then at some point, we just started referring it to that, and we're like, what are we going to call this? And it's like, I guess we're calling it Mystery Detectives.
What a title, really.
Yeah. I mean, now it's just, that's just what it is. But in the beginning, it was just like, here's some dumb shit. And so that just kind of is the vibe for how Kim and I have gone through these games, is these are super fun. We love puzzles. We love mystery. We love the stuff, like the educational part of these games. But there's just also like a lot of dumb shit that we can have a good time with. And that's how we've gotten here today.
So, Megan and I have prepared a PowerPoint.
We've prepared a PowerPoint presentation to show you today.
Don't ask how many slides there are. It's so much.
It's so much that we had to stop partway through. And because we're not getting this far in one. This is definitely going to be at least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks. Buckle up. So, we should probably start it, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Let's begin the slideshow.
All right, I have to rearrange some stuff here.
This is going to go about as long as Mystery Detectives has ever existed. Yes.
I mean,
yes.
So
here we are. Here's our glorious slideshow.
Here is our PowerPoint presentation. Nancy Drew. Next slide.
Can I tell you an embarrassing thing? I don't think I've ever read a Nancy Drew novel.
I have read one Nancy Drew novel.
Wonderful.
All the way through. And I had a lot of them. But I read one of them. And it was really, it had something to do with cats. I remember that, but it was kind of
exciting.
It was kind of unsettling, and I didn't want to read any more of them.
Fair.
Okay. Next slide.
All right, next slide. Okay, so Mystery Detectives. So Junior Detective and Senior Detective. These games, a little known fact, actually have 2 difficulties.
No, not as far as we're concerned.
Not as far as we're concerned. There is only Junior Detective. We only play these on easy. Why is that?
It's
mostly because Senior Detective is impossible. And it's not, I mean, like, the puzzles are more challenging, and like that's definitely like a hurdle, but like that would be an acceptable hurdle. The main reason why we do Junior Detective is because in Junior Detective you have a checklist. And if I can't play a game where I'm saying can't check that off yet, it's not gonna happen. Can't check that off yet.
Agreed. Also, you know, growing up playing these, like, I mean, I was pretty young when they came out, and the way that I played these with my mom is she would print out the walkthrough, and then I would just read the walkthrough, and she would do everything that it said. And so we always just did it on Junior Detective, because might as well. So that's what Kim and I knew. That's what we were happy with. And, you know, life's too hard. Why make it? We're here for the story and for the nonsense, so...
We have only known a life of Junior Detective.
This is true.
We have discussed in the past trying to go back and tool our way through 33 of these games in Junior Detective. We'll see if we ever get there.
We'll see. Once we learned that they don't have a checklist, we were like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, what's the fucking point if we can't check it off? Next slide.
I have a question. Can y'all see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, because I wish I could make my cursor look like a red dot.
A little dot, yeah.
But we'll do what we can. All right, so first game.
Game number 1.
The first game, Nancy Drew, Secrets Can Kill. We are playing.
Can I tell you that I always thought that the girl on the front was Nancy, and it's not.
It's not. It's like one of the characters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's one of the characters, one of the NPCs. These 2 are other ones. Is this Nancy?
That might be Nancy in the back, because there's only one girl, and she does look vaguely redheaded.
She does have short red hair, and so this is definitely and like this color shirt. So this is definitely our other NPC, but it very much looks like this is Nancy, and she just teamed up with the other 2 dudes in this game, and we're like, let's talk shit about her behind her back.
Yeah. So this game is actually, as the title suggests, this is a remaster. The first version of Secrets Can Kill came out in 1998. And this remaster was like 10 years later or something, and so the graphics are a little better than it used to be, and also it had a completely different like culprit. It had like a different plot, kind of.
Also, this game came on 2 separate discs, and depending on where you wanted to go, you had to put that disc in.
So, all right, next slide. Okay, so look at the humble beginnings of the mystery detective's costumes.
If you take a look in the background of my photo, you'll see the blankets that I had hung up in my closet from when I recorded in my closet when I lived in South Dakota.
Yep. Yeah, this was in several of these you will see that I am recording from my good old closet, where I still record the show, but thankfully for the streams I've been permitted to move out. So the reason for this, Megan and I were we were getting together to test out the stream and make sure that we had all our windows set up, and so we had started playing just a little bit of Nancy Drew Secrets Can Kill, just to make sure that it was all working okay on Megan's computer. And we so in this game, we'll get into it on the next slide, but Nancy is going undercover as a high school student, and her sort of contact is this police detective who is saying, like, all right, when you get to town, come meet me, and I will pretend to be your Uncle Steve, and you'll recognize me because I'm wearing a green striped shirt and glasses. And Megan and I were like, that's funny. And we're like, we both have.
I was like, you know, it'd be really like really silly, like just like when we get to this point in the game, like what if we both wore like a green striped shirt and like glasses, and then when he says that line, we could be like, oh,
no one got it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was obviously not as funny as we thought it would be, but we were like, this is gonna be hilarious. So she was like, I think I have a green striped shirt. I'm like, I do, I absolutely do. And I wear glasses, so I was like, okay, this is perfect. Let's do this. So it'll just be like a really silly, like, at some point randomly in the beginning of this game, we're just gonna be like, oh, it's the thing. It's like when they say the title of the movie in the movie.
No one understood it. Yeah. And then we also tried to like expand upon that by making the theme high school. Like, mm-hmm. I believe in further pictures of this. You're wearing a Letterman jacket, and I'm wearing a backpack. For like we're sitting in a chair.
Yeah. So we'll go to the. Okay. So we'll go to the next one here. We'll get to our costumes that we actually ended up wearing.
Mm-hmm. Seamus says nobody laughed, so we must continue doing costumes until they do. I mean, basically.
No, we didn't even get there yet.
Yeah.
We have mystery and bad guys is our next section of our slides that we're going to go over here. So I've kind of grouped these into the left side are NPCs / possible culprits, and then the right side is who the bad guy ended up being.
So we have our Uncle Steve on the right here.
You'll recognize him from his green striped shirt and glasses.
Which looks nothing like the green shirt or the glasses that we wore.
Nope.
Absolutely nothing. So this game goes hard immediately. Correct me if I'm wrong, and we'll discover if I'm wrong as we go through these games. I think this is the only game in which someone is murdered. Like, absolutely killed at the beginning.
I think so?
Yeah.
But the original was, like, way darker. It still it kept the same like idea that there was this high school student that was murdered, and Nancy has to go undercover as a high school student to gather information. So we have a few of our characters here. Kim and I have not looked up the names of any of these.
Nope, but I kind of remember their vibes.
Yeah, definitely remember the vibes.
Yeah, so let's start top left with football jersey.
Football boy.
I think his name is like Hank or like Hulk or something.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and he
like it's Hulk.
Is it?
I don't know, but it is now.
It is now in my heart of hearts since Hulk. God, and like they all had secrets. What, like,
yes, that's right.
I swear,
yes,
because Megan, secrets can kill.
Secrets can kill, and they all had them, and that's why somebody died.
That's why somebody died from too many secrets. I swear to God, he was like doing steroids.
I think he was stealing them or something. Mm-hmm. Like, this was very much had to do with, like, ooh, there's some sort of drug thing going on. So, yeah, just kind of running through these characters. We've got Football Boy, who I think he was, like, being blackmailed to do that. And then we've got Martial Arts Girl, who's just kind of a hard ass.
God, yeah, Martial Arts Girl.
Here's the thing. She went undercover to compete. She wasn't supposed to compete because I think it was a men's competition. And she was just like, I'm better than all of you, and I can kick all of your asses, but I've got to completely, like, shroud my face to kick your ass. It was so good.
Yeah, totally respect. Love that girl. Except she was like a hall monitor, and she would, like, get, like, really, really mad at us if we set off one of the alarms or, like, messed with the vending
machine set off an alarm. So that was how we got to snoop through her stuff, is we would purposely set it off, and we'll get to that later.
Oh my God, Nancy loves to snoop through stuff.
Yeah, that's...
Oh my God.
We learned that early.
This is the beginning of how can I get you out of the room so I can look through your bag.
Yeah. So that was her deal, and then that was her big secret.
Yeah.
Then we had Hal Tanaka.
Hal Tanaka, who we know his name because this screenshot thankfully shows us his name. Shout out to Hal Tanaka. He was like a straight A student, but he like cheated. He like plagiarized or something. That was his dark secret.
He plagiarized like an entire thing, and he was like, I'm gonna get fucking sent back home, and it's gonna be like ruin my future. Yes. And I remember us being like, let's not tell on him. Can we not tell on him? Is that an option?
Yeah. Okay, and then we've got Blonde Boy at the diner.
I want to call him Max, but that's not right because it's Maxine's diner.
I know. But I think something it's dumb.
Like... And he hit on us immediately. He was like,
immediately.
He's like, you got a boyfriend?
And like,
too bad.
Ordinarily, like, listen, like, I'm always, my cat is, I'm now just like shrouded in a sunbeam.
Yeah,
because,
you look like you're being like disintegrated.
I'm being lasered. It's still very early on the West Coast, and so my cat was trying to get in the window.
Sure.
But anyway. So this guy, this is the beginning of NPCs trying to pick up Nancy when she is very devoted to her steady boyfriend Ned, who we have never actually seen on camera. But ordinarily, I am all in favor of Nancy flirting for information, if not even Nancy maybe dating other people besides Ned. I love Nancy and Ned, but you know, like. She's young. She can explore her options. This guy sucked though.
Yeah.
Like 1,000%. He's this rich dude who has this wealthy dad, and like I swear he was
selling the drugs.
He was the one that was selling the information. Like all of this is kind of his fault.
Yeah, he was definitely a big player in it.
Yeah, he was a big player in it. Because like Mitch's whole thing, like Mitch is the like dead. No, Mitch isn't the dead kid. Jake is the dead
kid. Roberts, something like that.
Rogers, something like that. Jake R. Jake found out about all of these secrets, and then he was killed for it.
Yeah, he like accumulated all of them, and he was gonna like turn them in. So. We end up getting all of this.
He reached critical mass of secrets and then died.
Because they can kill too many of them.
They can kill.
So, big reveal at the end. Surprise, surprise, Uncle Steve is not an FBI agent.
What?
He's the bad guy. And he was behind all of it. And he was trying to get Nancy to come in and, like pin it on someone else.
Find the information? Yeah, or, like, pin it on someone else?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so like, this guy sucked from the beginning.
Yeah.
Such a betrayal. We thought it was any one of these shitty teens, and of course it was the weird
Yeah.
the weird adult.
We were hoping that it was the diner boy, but it ended up not being the case. He was also kind of being played. So next we'll have our dumb shit slide, where
we have a whole slide devoted to dumb shit,
which also will all include Nancy's job.
We're trying to build a nice CV for Nancy. And so her very first one is undercover student / murder investigator.
Very
investigator.
Both of those are noted.
Not the first time she'll be an undercover student. Maybe the only time she'll be a murder investigator. Still unclear. All right, so let's just go. I don't know in what order to go.
Yeah.
You point.
Okay, so down here we have a screenshot from the original graphics of the game. So
they're bad.
They're not great. They're not wonderful. I remember it being very, very jarring. You can see in this bottom corner here that they still at that time put photographs of like the family members and stuff of the devs.
Yeah, those are like real people next to some like clip art.
Yeah.
A clip art lady.
Here, if you look at the pointer, you'll see our very first encounter with the fucking slider puzzle that caused me no amount. Like, I couldn't even begin to tell you how stressful it is to do this on stream. I can never quite figure out the, like, combination of what I need to do here, and I always am like, I'm just clicking and eventually it'll work.
Just clicking, and at some point it will come together. All right, where do we go? All right, so this is the only way to get Judo Girl out of the library. Is that you need to set off, for whatever reason, I'm not sure what's going on with the electrical in this high school, but if you press some of these buttons in a specific order, an alarm goes off. I don't know why.
Makes sense.
And that is grape, orange, cool.
Grape, orange, cool. Cool is my favorite flavor of soda. Not really soda. Like cool.
Soda. Spot cola is upsetting to me. Extra pop.
That sounds like just a great deal.
Yeah. I also like grape.
Yep. So grape, orange, cool. Was the combination for several games that were like, have we tried grape, orange, cool?
Have you tried grape, orange, cool?
Here we have a letter.
Yes. So this is from Nancy's real Aunt Eloise. Uncle Steve is a lie, Aunt Eloise correct, an actual aunt. And so she was a school librarian. And the reason why we've written this is because or that we've shown this is that there is a wall safe in Aunt Eloise's condo, and she's like, remember not to enter in a wrong combination. Just guess what happens if you enter a wrong combination to a safe,
to a wall safe in someone's house.
In someone's house, maybe an alarm goes off. The police are notified. It explodes. That's a good.
It explodes with something. Guess.
No, a full human-sized cage
with bars
drops around you. Cage with bars drops around your person,
which means either these ceilings are super high, or the cage goes up into the ceiling, and there's just a cage-side space on the second floor that is off limits. Just waiting to put in the wrong combination, and that's how we trap Uncle Steve at the end, is we give him a wrong combination.
Uncle Steve, like, rounds on us, holds us at gunpoint. This game went, I can't stress enough, like, how hard this game went immediately, and then subsequent games are, like, so much softer. But, like, so Uncle Steve, child murderer, is holding us at gunpoint, and basically being like, what's the combination to Aunt Eloise's safe?
And we're like grape, orange, cool.
grape, orange, cool. I don't know what to tell you. And then he enters it, and then gets jailed by the full human metal cage that is just waiting in the flies of Aunt Eloise's condo. Incredible.
And so that's how we beat the game. And speaking of combinations, well, I'm not sure if this is exact lock combination. There were several like combination locks in this game, but we found one that we could find a picture of because at some point in the game we needed to put in a code and we couldn't figure out like what the trick was to it. We were like, did we miss it somewhere? We're not sure. Do we just brute force our way through? And Jake was in the Twitch chat and he was like, I will Venmo you 10 American dollars if you guess it on the first try.
And not just that, I will Venmo each of you 10 American dollars. We were not successful.
We didn't. It didn't happen, but that would have been wild.
Not happen. But there will be other puzzles in the future which we will actually get accidentally first try.
This is true.
Moving on.
All right, next slide.
Our very first clip. So the content of this clip is not particularly memorable, but it is extremely nostalgic to look at us
with your sideways cap. And I have my Letterman from high school on, and we're dressed up like we were going to high school.
This is so I feel some degree of secondhand embarrassment from this.
Yeah, this was so long ago. Also, I have not gone through and rewatched these clips. Kim put in all the clips and I put in a bunch of the photos and like built the slides and everything. So yeah, I purposely tried to stay away from rewatching anything so I could have as genuine reactions as I could. So we're gonna play it a little bit,
okay,
just so you can see. Look at, we were such babies.
Make sure that the volume is turned up.
Ooh. Okay.
You do. Read what's in the file called Case File. That'll tell you
it'll
all
be a little
about the
quiet.
mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way.
All right.
Okay, so we're
click on the plane ticket.
Yeah, we're not gonna go through the scrapbook because since this
that
is
audio
the
is
remastered
not
version,
great.
it has basically the overview.
Your big
every
gamer
previous
headset.
game from
Yeah,
when they did
that's
this.
the only microphone I had at the
And I
time.
can't 'cause
it's spoilers.
Super spoily.
Oh.
But yeah, okay, here's another thing that Kim and I realized as we were putting this together. Through the course of Mystery Detectives, I have streamed from, is it 4 different rooms?
I think so. I think, Megan, you could probably turn up the your words. You could probably turn up the sound that's coming from your desktop, and that would probably make the audio a little more prominent for Twitch chat.
Okay, so I'm good. Can you keep talking because you are also coming through that desktop audio?
Well,
so
see,
keep talking.
I have this thing where I can adjust my volume if I need to.
Well, then I'm gonna turn that up all the way.
Okay.
So now that's up all the way, and I'm gonna play this again, and we'll see if people can hear it a little better.
You do. Read what's in the file called Case File. That'll tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way.
All right.
Okay, so
we're click on the plane ticket.
Yeah, we're not gonna go through the scrapbook because since this is the remastered version, it has basically the overview of every previous game from when they did this in 2010. So we're gonna stay.
And we
on
can't
there.
because it's spoilers.
Super spoily.
We gotta.
Okay, so apparently it was still kind of quiet. I don't know what I could make any louder. Everything that I have is up to 100. So
no worries.
It does sound a little more quiet to me as far as compared to you, but
yeah, it's audible.
Okay, that's good.
All right, let's and I've adjusted my mic a little lower in compensation for this.
Okay.
Let's go.
You do.
Cool. All right, next game.
Next game took us 40 minutes to talk about the first game.
Here's the thing, this is not the next game.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, there is a story. There is a story here.
The second game is called Stay Tuned for Danger, and the theme is soap operas. Could not get it to work on my computer.
Would not. It is simply too old.
Just couldn't get it to work. No idea. Never figured it out. Never tried again. But basically, we tried, and then eventually we were like, JK, we're playing the third game.
But we were already we were already prepared for Stay Tuned for Danger.
Yep. So
we had already chosen our costume for that week, and And we got very excited about the costumes going forward from Secret Skin Kill. Like it'll be funny to watch the trajectory of costumes. There are definitely some weeks where we are trying very hard.
There's some weeks where we went hard, and then we just next week phoned it in. But we at some point after we did the Letterman jacket and the high school look, we were like, we should do like costumes for each of the like themes. Like we should just keep doing this. So our theme for Message in a Haunted Mansion, because the idea behind that game is that there are dating games for the resubscription, 9 months. Oh, nice.
Your outfit.
The idea behind this one is that there's something going on in this mansion, and it's like haunted. People are seeing ghosts. But we knew that there was a game later on that was about ghosts. So we didn't want to do that already. So we just said soap opera because ghosts are later.
Yep. Because that soap opera was going to be the costume theme for Stay Tuned for Danger. And we were already all dressed for it, but Stay Tuned for Danger wasn't working. And so we just did soap opera, even though we were doing a ghost game. So, I'm dressed in an outfit that I think I wore later when we played Clue and I was Miss Scarlet. It's just, just a fancy lady. But Megan, I think your costume needs a little more explanation. Tell me about your soap opera inspired costume.
So basically I was like, there's always a wedding in soap operas, and there's always like somebody that comes back and it's like they're the evil version now and they've lost an eye inexplicably.
Yes. And also they have amnesia.
Yeah, and the amnesia. And so I was just like, all right, well, I might as well put on my wedding dress again. And I bought an eye patch. And since getting divorced this year, I don't necessarily have any use to keep my wedding dress, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I did have a moment where I went, I could save it for costumes, though.
Maybe. So this was also the first week where we encouraged chat to dress up with us.
So,
and boy, some of you did.
Boy, did you.
Boy, did you.
Here are our fan costumes for soap opera because ghosts are later. So over here we have Mike and Meg and their friend, and they had an entire backstory.
A whole plot. A whole story.
Please go to the Twitch Talk channel in the Discord if you would like the entire recap. And if you're not a part of our Discord, get in there.
Yeah, what are you doing?
We also have Jax in this beautiful dress and Seth in this fantastic suit with like a glass of whiskey, and he's got the unbuttoned shirt.
I refuse to believe that wasn't just Seth. That was just what he was wearing.
He was in, and then he was like,
that's what he was wearing that day. Yeah.
So good. So good.
So good. So good. All right. Let's get into our mystery.
So mystery and bad guy.
Yeah.
We have 4 people. The idea was that these 2 ladies own this house, right? And it's this old historical house, and they are renovating it. And that's where this guy, Charlie, definitely know his name. Charlie got pulled in to help renovate. And this lady was like, I'm going through the bills and all the historical things. And then this lady was like, I'm going to do seances for some reason. I don't remember exactly why. And then this guy was like, I'm a lawyer, and there's nothing spooky going on here at all. This is silly, I think, was his thing. And then they were like, Nancy, you should come help us clean up this house and look for the ghosts. And so then we find out that this lady is faking her seances because since it's like this historical house, they want to get people like to come and like spend money. And then this lady's like, oh shit, we don't have money. And then this guy was like, my family is the actual owners of this house, or like legally should have it or something. And then this guy was just like, money.
Money. Okay, so some important things here. There's no way that these 2 women are not dating.
Oh,
right?
100%. Yeah, definitely was 100. Like, we're best friends.
She's my gal pal and my business partner, but also we're living in the same house.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing, Nancy Drew. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm shipping it. They both have magnificent taste in sweaters.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, agreed. And earrings.
And lipstick. They really had it going on.
Yes. This was the origin of Secret Tunnel. We will get to that when we are on our next slide. But yeah, that was basically the sort of like mystery here. This was the first like Nancy Drew like scary game. There are a few Nancy Drew games that are kind of have a slightly more horror bent, because you did get some like supernatural experiences that happened in this game, like ghost sightings or like hearing voices.
We definitely
and things like that.
heard weird things. But the other thing with this one was that like the historical aspect of it, whoever owned it originally, there was like a treasure rumored to be like hidden here.
Yeah,
and
like
there were
hidden.
like all of these like
it was
clues.
like it was like in the tiles, wasn't it? Or like beneath the tiles.
It was in the very center of the like main lobby floor, and there were like gargoyle heads that like you did a thing and you pulled on a certain lever, and there was like a laser beam that came out of a jeweled eye and it hit the floor, and that's where you knew where to look. And then this guy shows up, and I think he like, I can't remember if he attacks us or if he's just like, lol, I'm taking the treasure.
He takes it, right?
Well, then I think we dropped a chandelier on him. Is how
we did. Yeah, this like. There are a lot of these scenarios in which it's like when we're trying to like last minute catch the villain, where I'm like, this person died.
Yeah, yeah. That was an iron chandelier, and so throughout these games, if you do something wrong or you do something too dangerous, you often die, and then you have to go through what's called second chance. And this was one of the instances where if you found a rope, and if you undid the rope, the chandelier would break, and then Rose here would be like, get the fuck out of my house, you're terrible at restoration.
Yeah. So like that man, I absolutely believe that that Nancy killed. So
I want to say his name was Lewis.
I think it was Lewis. That sounds right to me.
All right. So our job here, mansion renovator.
Our job here. Yeah. So this is the first. Like, were we undercover in this? Like,
I don't think so.
Were we brought in specifically to investigate?
I don't think so. I think we were brought in to renovate the mansion, and then when there was weird shit going on, she was like, "Yeah, I'm something of an amateur detective myself."
Okay, yeah. So teenage Nancy was brought in as essentially like a house contractor. Like we did so many chores.
Yeah.
For these ladies. We were like patching their ceiling. We were like fixing their lights. We were painting. We were doing all sorts of non-mystery related activities that were just chores.
And I'm sure none of it was like actually restoring this house in any like, we have no knowledge of like historically how this should be done. It was just like,
no.
Well, I guess we'll scrape this mold off the wall.
Absolutely. So we have pictures here of some of the ghosts that we saw, which were like projections, but like would be spooky if you saw. One of our favorite puzzles ever, some nice classic tanagrams. We love some tanagrams.
That was really fun. And these were like in the floorboards or something, and they were like, we were like
inlaying. Yeah, it was so fun.
Opened a secret compartment.
Absolutely. We've got we had this lovely tapestry in our room. Connor says we do stand the tan. We do. We have this lovely tapestry here. I believe the like beginning of kind of like decor items telling us the solutions to puzzles.
Yeah, being riddles.
Yeah, being riddles. Not sure how no one in this entire house renovation was like, some of the words in this ancient tapestry are colored differently than the other ones. Maybe.
And relate to other artwork throughout the house.
And relate to other things throughout the house. But we're rambling. We know why you're all here.
The most important thing is through the Nancy Drew games, one of the recurring themes is just hot dudes.
Yeah. Oh, listen. The Her Interactive Nancy Drew series is just wall-to-wall hot dudes.
Yep. And it starts with this fella.
Daryl in the diner does not count, but we've got Charlie in the walls.
Charlie?
Very, very thirsty games. So Charlie was like the like actual like owner of this house or like something, or he was like he believed that there was a treasure here, and so he was signed on as like the actual real house contractor, but he had a secret task.
He was trying to find the treasure to like clear his family's name because there was some like shady shit in the past, or like he was supposed to be the rightful owner and he was trying to like prove that.
Yeah, and so at some point we activate our very first secret tunnel through this house and just find Charlie's like bedroll and snacks, and just like Charlie is secretly living like in a crawl space in this house.
Yeah. So we kept referring to him as and Charlie in the walls. And so he was just Charlie in the walls, and he was the beginning of a wonderful series of jokes for mystery detectives.
A wonderful tradition. What was wild to me was that Nancy, who is famous for getting into other people's business and also having zero discretion, Nancy told no one about Charlie.
Yeah, that was wild.
Not a soul. Not a soul about like, hey, ladies, there's a dude secretly living in your house.
She wasn't even like, I feel for your plight and I want to help you like clear your name, but you have to stop living in these women's walls. Like you cannot be here.
Like how horrifying. How frightening.
Not great.
Scary, but we do love Charlie in the walls. We just can't really condone his actions.
He's hot, not that hot. Not hot enough. I don't think there's a level of you are attractive enough to secretly live in the walls of my house. I don't think I don't think there's quite that level.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Next game.
Game number 3. Or I guess technically game number 4.
Okay, game number 4.
Third game that we played, game number 4. This is Nancy Drew, Treasure in the Royal Tower. All right, this game's really good.
This is where we start getting educational.
Yeah. This is also, before we get to the next slide. So, the costume theme for this, this was definitely one that Megan and I took in broadly different directions.
Yeah. I didn't have a lot of time, nor the resources Kim had, to properly pull off this costume look. I do also want to say that the cover art for this game was always one of my favorites as a kid, because I had, like the CD case, and I love the shade of purple on this.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
So, the costume theme was Marie Antoinette.
I went so hard.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
I took a bunch of scrap fabric and showed a piece of cake on a shirt. And then took a picture of my boobs and sent it to you.
just Megan's boobs.
And I don't think we had a clip from this, so you can't see. I also did a similar hairstyle thing, I think, but it wasn't very good and it didn't show up great on camera. And so I ended up just sending this, and I was like, this is the only evidence I have that I did a costume, so...
Mm-hmm. Tass walked in on the line, Megan's boobs.
Just I sent Kim a picture of my boobs.
Just Megan's boobs. But yeah, and this isn't even like this was before Megan and I got into the habit of taking pictures like right before we went live, because like I went harder than this. Like I like clipped all sorts of things into my hair, like different little trinkets and baubles. If I had like one of those like ships, I would have like stuck in my wig. But yeah, so and also the first time that you will see that pink dress, not the last though. I wore it for a lot of these costumes.
Good. So this is our theme, but we also wanted to do an alternate theme in case it made it a little easier for people to do costumes. This game takes place at a ski resort where it's like a castle, and one of the towers belonged to Marie Antoinette and was flown there. And I think it takes place in like Wisconsin or some shit. But,
yeah, I think so.
The alternate theme was ski lodge. So we have two of our wonderful friends, Jax and Seth here, who did a very good ski costume.
Shout out to these people who dressed up for this when it was fully like July.
Yeah, it was the middle of summer, and they did it. I think I want to say Seth like held out as long as he could, and then he was like, "I got the picture. I've got to get out of here." But it's so good. They look so wonderful.
Yeah, so wonderful. Seth says it was so hot. Okay.
Oh my god.
Some real favorites here.
Okay, so so it ended up being this lady. Her name was Lisa, I believe, and she was the bad guy because she's basically a jewel thief. And so this whole thing was there was a jewel that Marie Antoinette had that she had hidden in this tower that was her favorite tower, and then people were like, "Oh, it's probably still in this tower that got taken to Wisconsin." We get snowed in. We are there for vacation. We get snowed in. And then this guy, Dexter, is like running the hotel. And the person who owns it called it, like, got us here or something. And she was basically like, you need to figure out what's happening. And this guy's like, well, we're snowed in, so if you want to stay here, you got to work. And just like,
can you do chores? Can you do chores on your ski vacation?
This guy here, I can't remember his name. I remember we made fun of like his arms, how the like.
Oh yeah, those were some really interesting choices with the character models. He was like the ski instructor, wasn't he?
Yes. Or at least you got rentals from him.
Like you got rentals. Oh, he was also he had an outrageous French accent.
Mm-hmm. But most importantly,
the woman,
the
myth,
original,
the legend, the original, like, sassy senior lady of our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Beatrice Hotchkiss.
Oh, Hotchkiss.
She's not the first time that we'll see her.
Not the last time.
Yeah, sorry, not the last time that we'll see her. So she is a scholar, an expert on French history.
She's here writing a book.
Yeah, she was here writing a book about Marie Antoinette. So she has a voracious appetite for learning, but also
other things.
Other things.
Calling us by the wrong name.
Oh yeah, she loved calling. She never got Nancy's name right once. Called us like Sandy, Mandy, all sorts of things like Pandy, Nelly, things like that. But she is such a delight. I love her so much, and just God, what an icon.
We got a lot of information from her, but part of our chores was to deliver room service.
Yes.
This fucking lady ordered 50 chicken wings.
She could put it away, and then when we went, because then of course, you know, being Nancy Drew, we love to snoop on people. We love to go through their things. Could not find a single chicken wing in her room.
No,
she devoured all of them.
We found the remains. We found a plate full of bones.
The remains. She ate all 50.
Yeah.
50!
Before we had delivered more. So she ate all of them. And so obviously we're detectives. We make deductions. We figured out she is obviously part of an organization. A secret organization, which we dubbed the Order of the 50 Wings.
Yes, that is comprised of sassy senior ladies who really just want to who
rule
sort of
the world.
who essentially want to like rule the world, and like they are typically keepers of great knowledge.
We get much information from them.
Very worldly women. These ladies that are part of the Order of the 50 Wings, but also just like really just want to like enjoy life.
Yeah.
You know,
they're older. They've gone through the bullshit that we all have to go when we're younger, and they're just like, I've done my time putting up with bullshit from people. I've educated myself. I am an expert in a wide range of topics.
Yeah.
I just want to relax, chill, secretly run the world, and eat chicken wings. And
eat 50 chicken wings in a single
setting. Such an
setting.
inspiration. So,
oh god,
this was the origin of the Order of the 50 Wings. And as we progress through the games, we will see other characters who were like, this person is obviously a part of this. There are some characters that we never actually see, but we talk to on the phone, and just through their voices, we were like, she's definitely in the Order.
There were also some members of the 50 Wings that we allowed into the 50 Wings and then kicked them out once we met them in real life because they weren't nice to us.
Yeah. So
but we'll get there.
Okay. So next, dumb shit. All right. Not a lot in this one. I was surprised.
Not a lot, but a very memorable callback happens in this game. We will get to there in a moment. Of course, we've got someone submitted a fan recipe of Professor Hotchkiss's all-you-can-eat fried chicken drumsticks. Sad that they're not wings, but I do appreciate the attempt. So why do we have chocolate milk here? So this is the like Wickham Castle or something. Wickford Castle in Wisconsin. And like Ezra Wickford was the inventor of chocolate milk.
I built this castle and was like obsessed with like Marie Antoinette or something, and like or like French history, and so he had this part of this tower flown over. And then it was just like, also inventor of chocolate milk. So,
and we were like, that can't possibly be true, right? It's not true.
Definitely made us doubt. Like, I considered that it could be true.
Yeah, definitely made us doubt. But yes, so Ezra Wickford, chocolate milk impresario, first man ever who thought about, what if we just put some chocolate syrup in this milk?
We owe him so much.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, so again, with Nancy's job in this one, guest / hotel concierge. Became our job midway through. Now this photo here, if you'll look to your right.
No, hold on. I'm not done. I'm not done talking
Ezra.
about chocolate milk.
Okay.
Never.
That's fair.
Because Wickford is also he's not only a chocolate milk impresario, he also created Wickford candy. He is the maker of Cocoa Kringle.
Yeah, again, we owe him so much.
Anyway, please continue making.
I can't believe we didn't put a picture of Cocoa Kringle on here.
I can't. I'm shocked.
Cocoa Kringle, if you're not familiar, are the chocolate bars throughout the Nancy Drew games that say Cocoa Kringle on them, K-O-K-O, with a big smiling cow.
I want to eat one so badly. What do you think they taste? What do you think they taste like?
I think they taste like Crackle.
I think they're kind of like Crackle or like a Crunch Bar situation.
I imagine them very crispy chocolate.
Okay, cool.
So this photo right here on our right, this game was exhausting in traversing the map. It's a castle to start with, so it definitely took a while to like get my bearings. But there were also other rooms that you could only enter through certain entrances or exits depending on which floor you were on. So to get into this library without setting off an alarm, we had to like go to a certain floor and take an elevator to another floor and then climb out of that elevator and then go through a thing, like climb up on
and
a
then
thing.
Like solve a puzzle.
Yep. And then climb through a vent and crawl through the vent systems. This is the view from the vent leading into the library. But the way that I clicked on the mouse and the way like Nancy's view jumped forward, we all just had this image of Nancy just like on her like feet, just like crawling through the vents. So this was Nancy in the vents. Origin of this.
This was the birth of Nancy in the vents. You never know where she may be.
A lot of origins in this game.
A lot of origins in this game. Let's get to our next to the photo here on the left of Marie Antoinette. This is literally like the final puzzle in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Or like close to it.
Yeah.
We have come so far, and this was back in the day where Megan and I we were trying to do these in a single night. This was before we started splitting them up into multiple days. And so we were making really, really good progress until we got here. And we knew what we had to do because we had like read a journal or like done a thing, or we sort of
also,
like
we both played these games and we remembered that this last part.
And so we knew via just sort of like context clues and like our own deductions that we need to go up to this mural and click on the purple rose, and that will somehow make this open up, and then we'll get to like Marie Antoinette's like treasure or whatever. That's it. You just had to go up to that and click on the purple rose. The game wouldn't let us click on it at all.
Why, Kim?
Absolutely.
That's the answer. Why?
Why wouldn't it let us click on the purple rose? Because we did not traipse back through this castle, go into Professor Beatrice Hotchkiss's room, and she's got an array of like French translation books on her on her desk. We didn't look at a specific one at a specific page
of paper.
One. A slip of paper
that said like purple rose on it or
that
something.
Said purple rose.
So because we hadn't hit that trigger, the game wouldn't let us do the thing that we needed to do. That we
knew, because it was not convinced yet that we knew like the French words for purple rose.
So we had, usually when we're lost in these games, we go through our checklist. What haven't we done? Who haven't we talked to? Like I said before, getting to these rooms was not always easy. So we had to like sweep every room and try and see if there was anything we could have missed. It took
was there anything that we didn't
long.
click on? What, and so it was like the last, like literally 90 minutes of this stream was just Megan and I in a daze, wandering around.
I was so tired.
Wandering around this chocolate milk hotel, trying to find the one thing that we could click on so that we could finish this and go to bed.
This chocolate milk hotel.
Milk hotel.
I was exhausted, and it was like, like when you're streaming, like you're trying to keep the energy up.
No.
There was no energy left. We were in this chocolate milk hotel. We knew what we had to do. It wouldn't allow us to do it. So, throughout the games, anytime we knew what we needed to do, but we weren't able to do it, we were like, okay, this is a purple rose situation.
This is a purple rose. Somehow, even though we know the next steps to take, the game is not convinced that we know that information.
Yep. So that is the origin of the purple rose situation.
That's purple rose. Oh, boy.
All right.
My favorite thing is that I have seen people use purple rose describing things that have nothing to do with Nancy Drew.
So good.
Like it has just become like a phrase of like, I know what I need to do. I just like I don't have the tools to do it yet. Yeah. This is a purple rose. All right, the final scene. This is a fun one.
Oh, so good. This was absolutely one of my favorites. So this is a wild setup for this game. So a game starts, and we are with our friend, and she is going to interview somebody at this old theater.
I need to say, this is the first time that the friend is introduced, and then we never hear from this friend again for what I think are extremely justifiable reasons.
This is true.
Yeah.
We wish her luck. We are there to support her. She walks in to do an interview with a soap opera star.
Yeah, a soap opera star.
She screams. We go in. She's gone.
Immediately kidnapped.
This building is set for demolition.
In like 3 days.
Yeah, and we have no idea where she is. So somehow our kidnapped friend is being held hostage somewhere in this theater, and we need to rescue her before this building is demolished and she dies. The stakes are high. Because apparently the demolition can't be called off. And I don't remember why, but we're on the phone with the police, and we're like, my friend is missing. And I think they're even like, are you sure your friend's not just playing a joke on you? And it's just like, motherfucker, my friend screamed and she's missing. This is a joke to you? And they're like, oh, we can't cancel it. Whatever.
So this is our first costume in which Megan and I did kind of like coordinating outfits. The sort of educational part of this
the final scene
of the final scene is that this was a theater that Harry Houdini performed at. So we made the theme magic. So look at us.
We're so
look
cute.
At you, Megan. Look, we're so cute. We were so young 2 years
we
ago.
were like, okay, do we both be magicians? Okay, what if you be a magician, I'll be a magician's assistant? Okay, wait a minute, I have rabbit ears. What if, okay, so I have a top hat too. What if I position the top hat at a certain part on the screen? We put so much work into this.
We put so much work into that. That is absolutely a wand that I got from that Ollivander show at Harry Potter and Universal Studios.
Nice.
All right. So.
Beautiful.
A beautiful
Jax.
Jax with a beautiful magician outfit. Obsessed.
So good. Playing cards, top
everything
hat,
about
everything.
It. Yeah, Jax's costume is like costume skills are like on point.
You're gonna see quite a few
detectives.
of these. They're good.
Yeah.
All right. So mystery.
Okay.
So we've gone over the plot somewhat. We included our friend up here, Maya. She's not a suspect. She was never in our hearts, but we wanted to include her because she's cute.
Solely a victim. Super cute. All she wanted to do was interview a soap star. Gets immediately kidnapped, almost dies from a crumbling building, and then she seemingly never talks to Nancy again. Yeah. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's a lot of drama.
She
was interviewing this fool down here, Brady Armstrong.
What a name. Soap star.
Mm-hmm.
He was here to do like a movie premiere for his like last movie. So like they were scheduling a movie premiere like the day before they were going to demolish the theater. It was all very dramatic.
This is his
agent,
manager, his agent right here.
She's an absolute icon. She has one of the funniest lines that has ever happened in any Nancy Drew ever. Where so she's an agent, so she's like constantly on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And since this was like a magic theater, there are all sorts of like secret passageways, and so there's a secret passageway between.
Yeah, so we go in to find Maya.
Brady's dressing room and like Simone's dressing room. You like go through like through like a wardrobe into like a secret tunnel, out another wardrobe. And so we are going on the hunt for Maya. We are going through the wardrobe, secret passage, secret tunnel, and Simone, who is on the phone the entire time, looks at us coming in and is basically like, I'm gonna have to call you back. Someone just came in through my wardrobe. Amazing.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Just no, like, oh shit, who are you? She's just like, I gotta go deal with this.
Someone just emerged from my closet. Like, hold on, 1 second.
And Nancy's like, where the fuck is my friend? And Simone's like, I don't have time for you. What is this?
Yeah, she's like, I literally do not care.
Yeah. So like again, you can see in the dialogue box here, one of her dialogue options when she has nothing more to say to you is just, I said scram.
Josh is petitioning that this could be some real 50 Wings energy. She's a little mean for 50 Wings.
We definitely find out that she's been manipulating things to make Brady seem more influential, or like, she's spinning this for publicity.
Yeah.
Which is like her job, but it's still shady.
Okay.
And then we have
Leo. I think that's his name.
Is this not Nicholas?
No. This is Nicholas. This isn't Leo. This is Nicholas Falcone.
Nicholas Falcone,
who was all like fight the power.
Yeah.
He is against. God, what is it?
The destruction of illustrious theaters.
Humans against the destruction of illustrious theaters. Had it. Amazing. Had it. And so he is here to try to save the theater. He is high on my list of cute boys in Nancy Drew games.
The camo shirt. I can't. That's just
the camo and the camo shirt. That's how you know that he's like a revolutionary, Megan.
I know, but his shorts.
Also, so we couldn't get a picture of this, so you're going to have to just take our word for it. That, you know, this is some like 2001 figures, and so the backside of Nicholas Falcone is not happening. That ass in those shorts. We had not yet uncovered the Yanni technology.
That hadn't been developed yet.
So yeah.
Overall,
He's really cute from the front though. Listen, I'm here for it.
What he's about is attractive.
Yeah.
That's about all that I could I could do with that. But he's definitely like his shady things that we discover is like a bunch of like basically like activist shit, I think. I don't think anything he did was actually like, oh, this is something I would judge you on. I was just like, yeah, man.
No, he was awesome from beginning to end. And now we have our culprit.
Yeah.
He was like the like caretaker of the theater or something.
Yeah. I think with the story it was like he was also suffering from some dementia in a way. He wasn't quite sure exactly where he was or when it was at times when we do find him at the end. But essentially he was meant to kidnap Brady, and he went there and Maya was there instead, and he panicked and he grabbed her.
Yeah, and then he was just kind of like holding her for ransom, but like his initial intent was to kidnap Brady and then try to sort of spin that so that like there'd be enough publicity that the theater wouldn't get shut down. And so he just kidnapped the wrong girl, but then like trapped her for like 3 days.
Still not cool, but it was cool. You know, like it was sad,
deeply uncool.
And I think at the end the theater got saved.
Yeah,
probably.
It did.
It'd be wild for an Nancy Drew game to be like, and then they tore the thing down. So
it did, but the way that we got out of it was like such bullshit. Do you remember? Like it was like the theater was about to be demolished, and we had to find like the right key out of like this like pile of keys.
Oh yeah, to turn on a neon sign to be like, there's still somebody in here.
Yeah, there's still somebody in here. I think we got a second chance like tons of times.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Oh, there we go. All right.
Okay, so Nancy's job here was to be the moral support for her friend Maya as she's about to interview Brady Armstrong, and then later a hostage negotiator.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were building this slideshow and I was trying to find images to use, uncovered a whole Nancy Drew fandom on Tumblr. Shout out to those people. Had I known that you existed, I absolutely would have also been a Nancy Drew fangirl on Tumblr. So we have occasionally found some beautiful like vintage mid 2000 like aesthetic posts.
Yeah, some mood boards for parts.
Some mood boards.
Also, they're not included in here at all, but I do want to say that I did find a lot of recreations of these Nancy Drew games in Animal Crossing.
Oh god,
the photos were kind of too much of a pain in the ass to try and get put in here, but please do look them up because they're very good. So this is a Nicholas Falcone mood board.
I'm obsessed with him. Cute. Very cute.
And then we included this, just because this game was beautiful. The seats and the stage and everything. There was like really cool cages that like came down from the ceiling. There were like hidden magician rooms. It was just rad. There's all these like old advertisements on the walls and like promotional posters for Houdini and just all this cool stuff that he did there. And then this horrifying thing. Play like a card guessing shuffle game with us, but was mechanic and like terrible voice and the dummy.
He was really bad. The first of many kind of like creepy robots that we uncover in future games. I really liked this one. This one was probably one of I feel like Treasure in the Royal Tower I really liked, but it was definitely like extremely educational.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it because I thought that learning about Marie Antoinette was really interesting. I think that this one sort of balanced the educational aspect a little better.
Yes. Also, I was just really into like Houdini and stuff at this age when I played this game, where I was just like, I want to learn all of the magic tricks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
all right, next
game.
Okay, so this is Secret of the Scarlet Hand. This was the very first Nancy Drew game that I ever played. So everything prior to this was completely unknown to me. Had never played before. This was my introductory game, and when I say educational, this game educational, wall to wall knowledge.
Yeah, they were like, we gave you a break with Houdini. Get back to school.
Start learning stuff. So help me, you better learn about the Maya.
Yeah, so overall, the idea was there's this museum in Washington, D.C., and they've got this beautiful Mayan exhibit, and a jade carving was stolen, and behind was left a piece of paper with a Scarlet Hand print.
Yeah. So we got to uncover the secret of the Scarlet Hand. So because this was a museum, the costume theme, very easy. It belongs in a museum. We went in very different directions with this.
Yeah. Yes. Indiana Jones was obviously the first choice when we came up with the theme. And then Kim had a really good hat and I didn't have a good hat. And so I was like, okay, you be Indiana Jones and I'm just going to do like some art.
This is the first time that Megan did face painting. Not the last though. You were like very into that as like a costume option for a while.
That was a good, I don't have the clothing I need for this. And also at this time, I lived in South Dakota. And so I was an hour before. And so the way we had it timed out for our stream is we needed to be done by a certain time. And we were kind of also going off of things on like Eastern time because that's just what Crit Show stuff was kind of already set at. I had a very limited amount of time to get off work, get home, eat, do a costume, and then go live. Yeah. So I was like, okay, face paint seems to be if I can figure out the concept, I could probably do it quickly enough to where this was one where I think I didn't do the mouth. I was like eating on stream and then like finished. That happened quite a bit. But yeah, face paint became a good, I just need this to be done. I just draw on my face.
It's so good.
And then we had...
Oh, no. Hold on.
We're missing a slide. Okay, I don't know where that slide is. We do have a really good fan costume of this.
We do. Hold on. Stall. I need to deal with my cat. He's simply too bitey.
Sounds good. Okay, actually, I'm going to... Well, she is doing that. He's being bitey, so she's got to put him in cat jail, and then I'm going to double check why I don't have... Oh, there we go. Okay, it was just ordered improperly.
Gotcha.
So now...
Oh, so good.
So now we have Jax's beautiful interpretation of It Belongs in a Museum with her excellent... She also has a good hat. I've got to get a good Indiana Jones
She's
hat.
got a great hat. She's also got a really, really good leather jacket for it, which I didn't have. Amazing. Nailing it.
I love Indiana Jones, and the fact that I don't have a good costume is disappointing. I need to get
we do have another costume, but we're going to save it. Yep. So let's get into the mystery here.
So, mystery and bad guy. We've gone over this a little bit. Piece was stolen. Got to figure out who it is. So, right here we have Joanna, and she was kind of the head curator, I think.
Yeah, she was the owner of the museum. She was our boss. For
she wasn't the owner of the museum because we would call the owner of the museum.
Right. She was like
the head curator, I think.
Yeah. She was the one that we were like. You know, like she was the lady in charge, like on the scene.
This is Henrik.
We have Henrik.
He was doing like restoration.
Yeah, he was doing restoration. Also, loves to not wear a shirt.
He is wearing a shirt underneath this lab coat. It is incredibly difficult to tell. There is a very faint neckline. And we were just like, whoa, okay.
This man is shirtless and doing art, in which case, like, go off, sure. Yep. Henrik also, at some point, he gets attacked by our culprit, and so Henrik is in the hospital for like a ton of the game. With amnesia, and so we have to like continuously like visit him all the time and like try to like
jog his memory
so that we can like get into his computer essentially, like
without
we want to
stressing
get, like,
him out too much.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh. So and then we've got this guy.
I want to say his name was like Alejandro. I was about what I was about to say. That sounds right.
Yes, he was
trying to
he was the head of the Mexican consulate.
And he was like, these things belong to, like, our people. They don't belong to Washington, D.C., which is like, yes.
1000% yes. Absolutely yes.
And then this is Taylor Sinclair, and this is our bad guy. And I believe he was very, like, he was also kind of lawyery.
He was so gross.
Yeah,
that mustache.
Yuck.
It's just like a real yuck situation going on with this guy.
But and ended up being that he was selling stuff on the black market. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't there a guy smuggling tissue paper boxes out in his sleeves in this one? Oh yeah, I think that was Treasure in a Royal Tower who had like the weird arms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so our second
back
costume.
to our fan costume.
Fucking Seth nailing it.
Knocked it out of the fucking park.
Knocked it out of the park. And he did this one mid-game. Like we had already talked about Henrik and his lack of a shirt, and then Seth just pulled all of this together.
Seth was like, I own all of this. Give me a second.
Give me a moment.
So good. And so we had to put him in his own slide and do a comparison side to side to show you how much we love Mr. Detective fans and how amazing it is that
it's
somebody
so
would do
good.
This. It's very, very good.
Oh, magnificent.
Okay,
all right, let's go. Let's go to
game.
Dumb shit for this game. All right. God, where even to start? There is so much in this game that I love.
Yeah. So part of this game was a recreation of like a temple, and you had to go through and like you had to listen to the audio versions of all of the different items in all of these display cases, and then
pass a quiz.
Yeah, you had to go into this temple, and it was basically like there are several stations here, and you have a little key card that you put in. You do the quiz, or you solve the game, or you answer things that you should have learned going throughout this museum, and it unlocks the second level of this temple, which honestly, all museums should do this. I would live there. It was
oh my god,
incredible. It was so good. I love learning shit, and I love doing puzzles, and it was just the perfect marriage of the two. This was Bull. This is a game that showed up a couple of times later in Nancy Drew games, but we wanted to feature it because it was really fun and was one of the puzzle things that you had to solve in this.
Yeah, like there are some games in Nancy Drew we do not like playing because they are either boring or they are hard. And we'll talk about our favorite game later, but Bull is up there for me. Yeah. I think Bull is fun. Super fun. You're like rolling, and the certain amount of like kernels that you get says like how many spaces you can move your little dude, and you're trying to like capture the other pieces.
You're trying to land on the other person, so it's really fun.
It's real fun.
We included a picture of the hotel that we were staying at because we were just going back and forth constantly in this game.
So okay, yeah, we should talk about our job here. So we got promoted quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because so we started as a
deputy
museum intern, deputy curator. And then just sort of like everyone around us just started getting slowly eliminated. Like Henrik went to the hospital. Yep. Joanna had to like leave and like deal with stuff.
Well, no, there was there was like a thing where like it had been discovered that she forged something in the past or something. Right.
Or
stole something.
She
was like banned.
She got like arrested.
Yeah, she was like arrested and banned from the premises. And so it ended up just being like, Nancy,
you're in charge.
You're in charge now. And it was just like, oh shit, guys, we own a museum.
And so the reason why I bring this up is because so this was the first game that had not really like a day and night cycle, because we only played during the day, but it did have like a progression of, you know, like you would do things and then you would go to sleep and then something would happen the next day. And so like we were the owner of this museum for probably 2 months. Like we slept 60 times in this game.
Well, because we would sleep because we didn't know if that was what we needed to do next.
And
then nothing would happen.
There were times where we woke up, made a phone call, and then went back to bed, which sounds delightful, actually.
I've had those days.
Incredible. Yes. So, oh man, what to talk? Well, let's do this. We had a nice little fast travel system with our subway map. So featuring all of the locations that we would go to, the Colonia Hotel where we slept, the Mexican consulate, home of Alejandro, not the home, but that's where we saw him all the time.
Game home.
The Beach Hill Museum, where, you know, you've heard of it, we own it. The Eleanor Roosevelt Memorial Hospital, where Henrik was staying, and then Taylor Sinclair's office. I hate that guy.
So in Taylor Sinclair's office, so, you know, he's like, I don't know, I don't think he was a lawyer, but he did something. He like represented people.
He was an art dealer, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he was an art dealer.
He was representing this 17-year-old girl from South Dakota, who actually was from not far from where I lived at the time, named Poppy Dada.
Poppy Dada.
And this was one of her pieces. And she was we got to talk to her on the phone, and she was very like, I want my art to just be like, whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I shouldn't have to explain my art. I just,
it means whatever it means to whoever's looking at it.
She was incredible. Love her.
I don't remember how she ended up getting a piece, but she ended up getting a jade piece that we needed, and it was in this art piece. So she tells us that she's like, oh yeah, I got that from my dad. I stuck it in one of my pieces. It was the one with the rubber shark. And we're like, oh shit, we have access to that. And we're like, hey, do you mind if we take it? And she's like, yeah, no, I don't give a fuck, but you need to replace it with something organic. So we replaced them with these like really terrible cookies that Taylor had.
Oh god, yeah, Taylor had the worst cookies, and so we put some of those just awful terrible cookies there and took the jade piece. Poppy Dada crops up occasionally in later games, like references to her, or like some people have like a Poppy Dada original, and it's really nice to just see that she's like still flourishing, still hanging out and like still flourishing and like still making art. We love to see it. I would love to own a Poppy Dada piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing. Gave me that rubber shark.
This game was so I guess we'll go down here. So there's this like monolith thing in the center of this museum that had just been this piece that they had acquired that nobody could figure out what exactly it was. Ended up being like a weird tomb that we got all these jade pieces. It made a key. We opened it up, and there was like a scroll, and that was we need this.
Yeah, and so we like stepped in to view the scroll. And then Taylor Sinclair, like, fully shut the door and, like, entombed us with this mummy face.
Yeah, we were just in a tomb with a mummy, with a corpse,
with this lady, and we had to, we had like a glow stick, and it was pitch dark. We had a glow stick, and we were trying to solve a puzzle from inside of this tomb
before we ran out of breath,
which is really interesting to me. Like, why did the people who made this obelisk, why did they make that? Was that just like in case someone gets locked in here who's not really dead? Yeah, we gotta make sure that they can get out, but only if they're smart, though. Only if they can solve this puzzle. I respect that. It's always good to have some sort of like emergency plan.
You need a
like
fail
that.
safe.
Yeah. Josh says, this climax was used as a callback quite a bit. Threats didn't matter to Nancy because she had been locked in a tomb with a mummy. It's true. It's hard to scare us at this point.
Yeah.
This is pretty horrifying. Lastly,
we have this book here. So this was our very first instance of coming across the doodles of the person who had been hired for our position before we got there.
Sunny June.
So Sunny June was the person who had been in our position at Beach Hill Museum, and he doodles a lot. We began to learn a bit about him, and he provides us with clues based on his doodles because he doesn't want to do his job. He never really cares about the position he's in. He'll write things about the people that he has to interact with and kind of give clues to their character as well. He's obsessed with aliens.
Yeah, so we can see that in a few of these drawings. We've got some little alien drawings. He was also obsessed with Cocoa Kringle.
He loved Cocoa Kringle.
The premier candy, which was made by Wickford Candies, which was a subsidiary of the Ezra Wickford chocolate milk empire. Famously, of course. Thank you, Ezra Wickford.
And so he crops up a few more times. This isn't the first job that we've taken over for Sunny. This is the first.
This will be the last. Yeah.
We
keep saying that.
I know.
But sorry, we love these so much. We love these games so much. Sunny June crops up a lot. There's also like it would have been impossible to log how many times another reoccurring name crops up, but I just wanna say it just to get it on the record. Krollmeister is also an extraordinarily important name all over the Nancy Drew games. Krollmeister makes everything. Oh, Snacks FF07. You're gonna make me have to go into my moderator
Get
account
outta
and ban
here.
you. That's so many steps.
Krollmeister makes a lot of the like machinery or basically just anything that's kind of mechanical in these games. Thank
you, Mike.
Anything that we have to like interact with that has any sort of like mechanical component probably says Krollmeister on the side.
Yeah, loved to make like alarms, safes, things like that. All right. So we do have a clip from this. This was the moment that Shirtless Henrik happened.
Yes.
He totally looks like he isn't, though.
He's not wearing a shirt.
He's wearing a very, very, very tight nude-colored shirt. It's like a crew neck. Why not? You can get away with it.
I'm so scandalized, but you know, at least he's covering.
At least he's wearing a mask.
His mouth. Yeah, he's covering his mask. Hashtag Lux. I agree, Sprite Sepsis.
Look at that hair.
The hair. Oh, this man took me by such surprise.
Yeah. I really loved being able to see how much the face paint was bothering me. And how I was constantly just like trying to pick it out of my eyes. Also did have to put my glasses on because I couldn't see anything.
I remember that from the soap opera episode where you rolled up with the eye patch and you're like, this is impossible to wear with glasses.
I didn't have any contacts at the time and I was just like, this is hard.
Oh, so good.
He totally looked like
he... Next game.
Okay.
Love this game.
Okay, this is when the games start getting really good.
Yeah.
The games up to this point have been good. Don't get me wrong, but like there is a slew in the middle here where the games are so good. If you have never played a Nancy Drew game before, like start like around here.
This is an excellent. I mean, I love them all, but like this is my favorite.
Yeah,
I love dogs though, and I grew up with Rottweilers, a lot of them. And so this one always held a really special place in my heart. Plus, just it's so beautiful. So the idea behind this one is we have a friend who bought this cabin and she's been living there, and then she just hears dogs barking and she saw these dogs that had like glowing eyes and she's freaking out. And she's just like calls us.
She doesn't want to come back.
Yeah, she calls us and she's like, I had to leave. I don't know what I'm doing. I need you to come. I need you to come out here and help me. And we get there and she's just like, I had to dip. Like, I was too scared.
She's gone.
And just leaves us there. So it turns out this cabin was owned by this gangster in the 20s who had these 4 dogs. So our theme for this... Oh, God,
what? His name is, like...
Fuck.
Something Malone.
Mickey Malone.
Of course. Mickey Malone, yes.
Yes. So, the theme for this one was 1920s.
Because Mickey Malone was a Prohibition-era gangster.
Yes.
I love the costumes.
Yeah, I bought this dress for a New Year's Eve party for 2020 because it was 20s. So we did, our friends did a New Year's Eve costume theme, and so I had this dress all ready to go, and I did the finger waves in my hair, and it was very fun. I love.
Oh man, I miss I miss that wig. That was a very cute wig that I had. But yeah, we really crushed this one. This was a good theme. I think this is also the first time that Megan started using a backdrop when she was streaming.
Because I was like, because I think Finn kept jumping up or something. Like, it was just not great to just have my bed there. Also, I never make my bed, so it was just always really messy.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm just hanging up this sheet that I have.
I remember that I had like I literally I just took like a little piece of paper and then rolled it up to look like a cigarette.
Yep.
But I did own and do own a vintage cigarette holder, even though I don't smoke. I just think it looks nice for the aesthetic. So I just like plugged in a little curly Q strip of paper into my cigarette holder. Oh, look at Jax here.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. I love that headpiece.
Yeah. And I love that she's got the glass, everything. Oh, so good.
So good. So good. Okay, so not many characters in this game.
They didn't give us a lot of options. So we had Red, who was a bird watcher, who did not like people being... So this all takes place around a lake. So Mickey Malone and his goons would...
Moon Lake, famously.
Moon Lake, yes. Would come up in boats and all... Like, he used to hold wild parties here at this cabin. And everyone would come by boat up to the dock and go in here. And so there was, like, a bunch of, like, sometimes the boats would sink or, like, the cops would chase them and they'd dump stuff. There's supposedly a lot of stuff in this lake. So we have Red, who's a bird watcher, and he just doesn't want anyone around because it messes with the birds. Then we have this guy whose name I don't remember, but he's Forest Ranger. We're just going to call him.
He's a Forest Ranger, and he's just, like, all about the rules. The thing that I want to say about Red is that, like, one of the main things that I remember is, like, his initial question to us was, like, literally, like, do you smoke? Which I thought was so hilarious. And then Nancy quit back, like, only when I'm on fire or something like that, which I really
Which
liked.
is not funny because we are on fire a lot, actually.
That's true. Nancy will later discover that was like a prophetic thing that she said. Like fire would then come to like haunt her.
Yeah, fire's like, oh, you want to make jokes? Okay.
Oh, you want to joke about fire? Just wait a few games.
And then we have Emily.
Emily?
M.
That's her name?
I think we called her M.
Yeah. M.
And she ran the general store.
Oh yeah, M's Emporium.
M's Emporium. And so she was the bad guy because she was dragging the lake. So she was trying to scare off our friend so that she could drag the lake for Mickey Malone's
right, because she sold antiques, and so that's how she would like stock her store.
Because the thing was, it was illegal to drag the lake, but if you found stuff, you could keep it.
Yeah.
So it was wild. And she got these puppies and she put this like toothpaste that glowed.
Yeah.
Or something around their eyes to make it look like they had
like little like goggle situations happening, didn't they?
I thought there was something about toothpaste. But maybe they did. I don't remember. Anyway, at some point we're staying at the cabin and literally like Rottweilers with glowing eyes start like attacking the cabin. So we're like, these are real. We got to figure out what's happening.
These are real dogs. So the actual sort of like quote unquote like mystery or like the crime here is like not super interesting, but the like aesthetics of this game are I thought
the crime was too, because it was like, okay, there's clear these dogs are real. How is this possible?
That's true. And I really liked like going like into like the secret passage into like the secret speakeasy was like amazing.
So like I remember that opening up and my mind just being blown, like a secret panel that like opens something up and there's an entire speakeasy under there. Ooh, also she hid speakers around that played creepy noises. So it was just a lot of like making our friend think she was losing her mind. So dumb shit. Our job here was to be a Ghostbuster.
Was a Ghostbuster. So once again, Tumblr strikes again with this incredible aesthetic post of Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, which makes it just look like so cozy,
so peaceful,
so cozy. This game, incredible. In the center here, we've got a nice picture of the speakeasy itself, that I like never want to leave.
Yeah, I would live there. So this guy had these 4 dogs. Mickey Malone had his 4 dogs, and he loved them.
He loved these dogs.
So this place was just decorated and like these beautiful like portraits of his dogs. So there's this one here.
Yeah, and they all had like names, and they had favorite colors, and they had like personality traits, and like he knew all of these things about his dogs. He loved his dogs so much, and it's like I want to go to a dog themed speakeasy so badly.
Yeah, more than anything.
Mickey Malone, famous dog lover.
If I had the money.
Yeah.
And so then here in the corner we have the actual puppies that we find at the end. It's just the best day.
Oh god, they're so cute.
Our map of Moon Lake.
Yeah, a very, very limited locations here. So we've got M's Emporium, Sally's house, and then the ranger station. And that was it. Everything was going on in these locations.
But because they made them so limited, we really had to work for some of the stuff that we needed, because leaving the cabin, which here you can see Red made us do we had a camera in this one, and we had to go around and take pictures of birds for him before we could get certain information, or like the things to fix our boat. We needed spark plugs or something. And we see the speaker here on top, and that's how we learn that somebody is playing sounds. But a lot of the things we need are in a pet cemetery, and that is located in the woods. Here's the map of the woods. And so we had to go through here. We had to overturn logs to find bugs, because we had to collect worms and stuff.
Right, yes.
We had to take pictures of birds that only existed in certain nooks and crannies of this forest.
And also only existed sometimes in day or night.
Yep. And then we had to make our way all the way to the cemetery, and it was so easy to get lost. They really made us work for it. But it was really good.
But like Megan was amazing at this. Like Megan eventually just like memorized how to get through these woods.
Eventually, I kind of get like, I don't memorize it exactly, but I kind of get like a feel of like, I've hit right a few times. It feels like I should probably hit left, or like, okay, I know if I'm facing the log that has the sock on it, I take a right or some shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You were incredible at this. We would still be playing Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake if I had been in the driver's seat.
So terrible.
Oh no.
So we got a clip here.
Okay, this is probably one of my favorite clips. This is moments into the game.
Yeah, literally, like, we just have gotten control. We got attacked by the dogs, like, the first things we heard. And
Sally just called us being like, hey, I know I invited you over, but I already left the house.
All right, so she just invited us into our home and then she just left.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, what's here?
Excellent host.
Rotten
What does that say? Rotten floorboard. Watch your. Good. Hot start, Megan. Hot start.
I think that might be a record.
I think that might be the quickest that we've died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hot start.
Oh. Just died immediately.
So good.
Had to start
immediately.
over.
An immediate death. Immediate. Oh. Man, we were really cute. Yeah. We're still cute, but this was a really good theme.
Yeah.
We nailed it.
Next game.
Okay, I love this game.
It scared me a lot. I remember being scared by this game.
I loved this game. So we are here to investigate a haunted carousel. And this was the first game that I played where I was like, this could be a Monster of the Week mystery. Like 1,000%. For sure. So this is once again a game that we sort of split up the costume theme, and Megan and I went in extremely different directions.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, so it's either like theme park or it's like literally haunted carnival. And that's where we went.
I think we put down the rule that no clowns, because I don't do clowns.
Yeah, we don't like clowns.
But we were like, hey, take the rest of it however you will. So
I had to go to Goodwill to get that Lion King shirt. I think I still have it, but I literally only bought it for the stream.
Good. I'm glad you have it.
But it was $3 well spent. So I am here, this being a Disney park attendee with my rose gold Mickey ears, and Megan killing it again.
I went as a marionette. I used a staple gun to attach a piece of yarn to my ceiling.
You stapled yourself to the ceiling
so that, because the yarn, if I had enough tension, I could reach my keyboard, but I could also, like, it wouldn't have slack if I did. Yeah. And I had my friend Alex messaged me on Twitter, I think, after this came out, or we went live, and he was just like, Megan, I'm very upset with you. I can't believe that you put this image in my mind.
It's so good. This is something that would later accidentally get echoed during our Threadbare game. Like,
yeah. Jake was a haunted doll, and he wanted to do the strings, and I was like, I got you. I know exactly how you need to do this. But he was just kind of like, I guess I'll try. And then he made the string too short, and he was just...
He made the string too short, so he was like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't roll dice.
It was good. It was pretty good.
Oh, it was so good. But yeah, so this is definitely a week where you can see that that Megan really went all out, and I was there as well.
I think I wanted to go further with like joints and everything, but I think I didn't. This is another thing. I would think of a concept as soon as we were like, what's our theme next week? I'd be like, I'd go on Pinterest and be like, I think I could do this. But often I wouldn't try to put it together until like that day of.
The hour before.
Yeah, the hour before. So I was very happy that, or like I would plan, like I knew like, oh, I'm going to have my hair curled for this. I guess I'm going to work with my hair curled, because then I'm going to come home and I'm going to put a ribbon in my hair, and then I'm going to just start drawing on my face and hope that it works out. And I was really proud of this one. This one felt really good.
I really like the outfit that you're wearing here too. It's really cute.
Yeah, I should find that shirt.
Yeah, it's good.
And of course, Jax.
And we've got Jax being a tarot card reader in a haunted carnival, doing a very nice Celtic cross there. Nicely done.
So with our mystery, we've been hired here by the person who has bought this amusement park, and she's like afraid it's gonna go under, and she's like, I need you to sort this shit out. So we have this lady whose name I don't remember.
This is Ingrid.
Ingrid, yeah.
Ingrid. She was like the engineer.
Yeah, she was like engineer mechanic lady, so she was in the background.
And she was also like very like new age, like crystals as well.
I don't remember her name, but she was the daughter.
What was her name?
She was the daughter of a man.
Joy.
Oh yeah.
Joy.
And she was just
hilarious.
Fucking sad all the time.
She was sad. She was so sad.
I can't remember what happened, but like her dad was like an inventor here.
Her dad was here, and her dad like died. He wasn't the owner of the park. But he
worked here, and he invented a bunch of stuff, but he always told her like, you'll be taken care of. And then he died, and she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm struggling, and I'm, like, financially in dire straits. And she was just not having a good time. And also,
like, I resent the carnival people because they, like, fucked me over.
Yeah.
We'll get into a little more about what's going on with Joy when we get onto the next slide. But yeah. She was a lot, and her storyline went to some strange dark places. Okay, security guard.
He was, I think he had been in prison at some point.
And then he got out. He was so set up to be like the kind of like red herring suspect.
Yeah. But real bad guy was Elliot here. He was an artist, and he was restoring the horses on this carousel. It turns out he found out that there were, like, jewels hidden in one of them, and he was, like, creating a replica so that he could steal the real one.
Okay. Ooh, also, one thing that I do remember is that Elliot has a Poppy Dada painting in his office.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
We love to see it.
So dumb shit from this one. Up here we have the horse whose name was Glory, that we found in a basement.
Okay, so let's get into like the lore of these horses, and this is why I thought that that it would make such a cool Monster of the Week mystery. Yeah. So over the course of learning about this carnival, we learn about a man who made carousel horses like 100 years ago. And he was like super dark. Like he was emo before we had a word for it. And he was like desperately in love with a woman that he like couldn't be with, or she left him because he was like too fucking creepy. I kind of forget the story there, but he
was a tormented soul for sure.
Yeah, he was very tortured artist. But he believed that the carousel horses that he would sculpt had the spirits of horses that were like from another dimension. I swear to goodness, this is the plot.
Yeah.
Like he thought that he was basically just like providing a vessel for the spirits of these extraplanar horses, which I loved. Yeah. I want to write a Monster of the Week mystery about sort of like ghost horses that are like possessing a carousel. Incredible.
We read it and we were just like, are we reading this correctly? Like, this is the plot of this game? It was intense.
I loved it. Okay, so let's get to the Magnificent Memory Machine.
Miles, the Magnificent Memory Machine. That's what you said.
This is fucked up.
Yeah.
So deeply though.
Yeah.
So like Joy, her dad is dead, but also her mom died. And she has like repressed that memory. And the mom, I think, is the one that gave Joy that carousel horse or something. There's something involving that carousel horse.
There's something that we need to know that Joy can't remember, that Miles is there to help her remember.
Yeah, and so basically we are just sort of like making this robot provoke Joy into confronting the grief about her dead mom. This was the beginning of you're not telling me enough about your dead mom. So that then she could like tell us like a clue. It was kind of fucked, actually.
I mean, she ended up getting a lot of like catharsis from it, and like it was nice to see her kind of like understand, like, because the big thing was like she thought her dad just like straight up abandoned her, but she didn't realize that he had like left clues to get her like the things that would help her. And she just decided to shut it all out. So it was good to be able to help her get through that, but it was just also kind of heavy to go through in the first place.
It was very intense. All right, so down here at the bottom, we have Harlan, I think, like Harlan's security guard station.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that we do when we start investigating this haunted carousel, by the way, our job here is insurance fraud investigator, because we are trying to investigate this so that the insurance people don't get involved. So one of the first things that we do is that Harlan asks if we want to view a security footage tape of the carousel sort of like spinning and going out of control.
It's a long video.
It's like over a minute, which is that's a long time if you're just sort of silently watching a video. And for whatever reason, whenever you then subsequently talk to Harlan, there is always the option to watch the video again. And it was located in a place where you think that Nancy is saying goodbye, and instead you are clicking, can I watch the video again? And then you have no choice. You can't back out of it. You have to sit and you have to watch this like 70-second long video. And
I clicked it a lot. I messed up.
She clicked it a lot.
I clicked it a lot. We had to watch it so many times. It was bad.
We had to watch it so many times. This silent video of this.
We knew it by heart. And I would click it, and there'd be just a moment where we're like, no! And we just have to be like, oh my god, we're so tired. We just want to move on. And we had to watch it so many times, and it was
so good.
It's soul crushing.
I love this anglerfish here.
So I included this because this was the entrance to one of the haunted houses in this amusement park. And this scared me when I was a kid. I was like, I don't want to go in that space anymore. But it was this was kind of like the artwork for a lot of the things throughout this place. Just really weird things that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And it was all about like the inventor dad kind of made these puzzles. Another part of puzzles had a lot to do. I don't remember why.
I don't remember why we had to learn shorthand, but we did.
But there was a whole thing on shorthand. And I, as a kid, still now, but really as a kid, was fascinated with this concept. I'd never heard of it before. Started playing this game, and I was just like, I want to learn how to write everything in shorthand. And I even found an old book in a thrift shop.
How very 1950s of you.
I would sit and practice shorthand. I think after we had this conversation, we played this game, I found the book. I don't have it with me. I think it might still be in South Dakota, but I'll get it back eventually. But it was so cool. We got to learn shorthand. I'm like, Use it to solve puzzles.
Amazing. Megan and I are both on a Facebook group that's for fans of the Nancy Drew games. And the other day, I saw someone who discovered a book on shorthand, and she expressed surprise that this existed because she thought that shorthand was invented for Nancy Drew, which I really loved.
That's great.
Because that's the first time that I heard about it as well.
That's so cool.
Incredible. And then we have this thing down here.
So lastly, we needed this rod to go into an old Calliope machine, I think. Is what that was for, but we had to basically use this lathe. And we just checked in with Seth throughout the game, and we're just, Seth does woodworking, and we're just like, we're doing this. This is how it's done, right? You click this, and you click this, and then you hit go, and it's done.
And Seth was like, this is absolutely not how it's done. Yeah. And we were like, look at us, Seth. Look at us go.
You want to hire us? Hey, do you want to hire us?
Hey, look at us. Professional.
Next game.
Oh, I love this one.
Danger on Deception Island.
So this is a really good one.
This game is really cool. It takes place off the coast of Washington.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's up with the peninsula.
Yeah. It's in Washington.
And so we're sent out there to go, I think, help with some stuff. I don't remember, probably.
No, we were there. This is one where we're on vacation. We are whale watching, baby.
Oh yeah. So we're going whale watching. There's this
so often Nancy's vacations get completely interrupted.
She gets
by
put
a
on
mystery.
a job. Orca has been showing up in this sound, and it's been like people have been like, okay, well, we can't go there because they're like protected. So we go through here. Our theme was oceans.
Man, I like these costumes. Also, my highlighter that day was on point. That cheek is glowy. I love my nice crit show pin that I put on my jacket.
She's got the pipe. She's giving us good sea captain vibes.
Super good sea captain vibes. Megan, explain your costume.
So my costume. As many of you know, it's a dream of mine to finally one day be approached by a wizard and asked if I would like to turn into a mermaid, which I will immediately accept and live out my days swimming in warm water. So I went with a mermaid theme. I made this crown. I went and bought a thing of jewels, or a thing of shells and like some beads from the craft store, and got some like thick floral wire and hot glued myself a little crown. This is the beginning of mermaid makeup for me. I got to explore this look far more intensely for Crossroads Carnival when I got to play mermaid. But also,
did you reuse this crown for Crossroads Carnival?
100%, yes. This was my Thalassa crown. I was like, okay. I've already done this. I put work into it. I think it's pretty. I'm gonna rewear it.
1,000%. Yes.
The other part of this, it was set in the Pacific Northwest. So we were like, okay, well, you can do an ocean theme, or you can do Pacific Northwest. So I did flannel, and I was a flannel mermaid. And then I had a little baby Cthulhu stuffed animal, so I just kind of tied it together.
I love it so much. Mike says, man, I can tell when Lancer moved to Thursday nights because my knowledge of these games suddenly took a nosedive. It's okay. This is why we're doing the recap, everybody.
So then next...
So you can pretend that you were there. An ocean theme. Jax, once again, killing it. I love the sailor hat. I love the anchor shirt.
So good.
Phoebe says that she is the same Cthulhu.
Oh, nice. So mystery and bad guy. So the people that we have in this one are, this is Katie. I want to say her name was like Katie Firestone or something. Like she had a cool fucking name.
Oh, she did. She did have a really cool name. I think it is Firestone. She's a marine biologist.
Yeah, she's a marine biologist.
And she also runs the whale watching.
She does tours.
Yeah.
And she's like, help me figure this stuff out. This guy's a fisherman. I think he's also running for office.
Yes, right? I think so. He's giving such like prime fisherman is happening with that man with the hat and the beard and the turtleneck. He teaches
us how to catch crabs and stuff. So like,
is he also one that teaches us knots? I forget.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I think we learned knots.
He does tell us about the difference between male and female crabs, though.
This is true. I think we have a picture of that later.
We do.
And then this lady here, I can't remember her name, but she works at a diner.
Yeah, she's at like the cafe.
Mm-hmm. And then we have this son of a bitch.
That guy.
Andy. Andy. He also does whale watching tours. He's like a rival.
He runs like Whale World or something.
Whale World was so cool though. Whale World was amazing. It was just this whole like little museum that had just like like life-size, like either skeletons or figurines of different whales, and then like the different sounds they make and information. It was really cool. I think whales are super neat.
Man, but okay. So this game was wild though. I can't remember who they were setting up to be the culprit. I think it was fisherman guy over here, that like we thought was like up to it, and so
I think it was Katie.
Maybe maybe Katie. I forget the who the sort of red herring was. But anyway, we were then like, Andy, you have to help us. Come with us to this boat, to this sort of like remote location, and help us like bust Katie. And then we got there, and then Andy was like, "Lol, JK, I'm the villain.
I'm
so
the bad
frightening.
Guy. Katie is tied up here." And then he's like, "Yeah, I seemed weak, and I still am. That's why I've got goons doing all my attacking for me." And it was really...
he had like all sorts of like smugglers. Like it was
they were smuggling things from like a wreck. And they were collecting it and smuggling out. And so they got this orca. They lured this orca in here because they had, like, trained it. And they lured it in here to keep everyone away because you're not allowed to, like, go near them.
Mm-hmm.
So, dumb shit. Okay, so down here we have Whale World. You can see a really cool figure.
I love Whale World.
It was so neat. I want to go back. We can see the whale at the end.
Titular whale.
If we throw a ball to it, it bounces it back, and that's actually how we defeat Andy, is because we throw, like, a fire extinguisher or something into the water, and the whale's just, like, coming back at you, and it hits and it just like, knocks him out. It's so good.
Just punts a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, it's very good.
Incredible. We have a really beautiful, like, another nice little mood board up here with our sailor cable knit sweater. A muffin from the cafe, some wellies, a lighthouse, the whale, of course, as well as crabs. Always crabs.
We got to do a lot of kayaking in this one and go through these really cool caves. It was beautiful. You can see, let me see if I can go back. Okay, so you see in this picture of Katie, this is the clearest one I could find of her. She's holding a sandwich and she has a very uncomfortable look on her face. That's because we could make sandwiches in this one to feed to Katie, and we could just put god-awful things on it.
Anything you want. Because she did not discriminate when it came to that mini fridge.
Nope. She kept all kinds
of
shit in there.
A lot of things in there.
And as long as you made something edible, she'd eat it. But if you started putting a bad combination of things, she'd get sick.
Yeah, she would get sick. I put this book stacking puzzle here because it's one of the first things we had to do. We had to organize the books on Katie's shelf. And this puzzle like weirdly reappears multiple times. Her interactive was like, "Hey, we figured it out. You know what we like? Book stacking puzzles. You got to stack the books in a completely illogical way."
There are some things in these games where you have to make sure that you click on a certain thing before you can do something. Like you have to put the light out, or have to put the life jacket on before you get into the boat at Moon Lake, and like it won't let you go until she'll be like, "I better put on a life jacket." This game, you ride a bike between all the locations. If you don't put on the helmet before you ride the bike, you die.
You immediately are in the hospital.
Bike crash, land cycling sleuth in hospital. Teenagers neglects to wear helmet, pays the price.
Listen, wear your helmet, everybody.
Yeah.
We're not joking
deception
around.
Zucchini toss. I feel like that's the real story here, but, it is what it is. Lastly, our job here was whale watcher / rescuer, because we did both of those things. We watched the whale and then we rescued it.
Yeah, this was another one where we were just trying to have a vacation, and then we just got swept into the mystery. We can't let a caper go unsolved. We have to figure it out. Okay, so there is another character in Danger on Deception Island that we never meet, and so that's why they are not present on the other side, but they are extremely important to us.
We needed to include her. 100%.
We needed to include her. This is Hilda Swenson.
Amazing.
She was like the mayor of Deception Island for a while, and like her husband was like the harbor master. But then she eventually just sort of like retired, and then started like living in like a lighthouse or something.
She just She was just like, bye, society. I'm going to go. I'm going to have my groceries delivered to me. You're never going to see me again. But I've got some knowledge, but I'm only going to give it to people who are worthy of it. So I'm going to put clues on how to get my phone number in bottles that I'm going to put out in the sound. And if people find them and put the clues together, they'll be able to... It was an incredible puzzle.
They have earned the right to talk to me.
Yeah.
That's also how I give out my phone number.
Yeah, you have to earn the right to talk to me.
You do. Especially if you want to call me on the phone, Jesus.
Yeah.
You gotta jump through some hoops. So obviously, goes without saying, Hilda Swenson, 1,000% member of the Order of the 50 Wings, without a doubt, 100%. Incredible. Like, I want her life, essentially. Like, she seemed like she really had it figured out.
Yeah.
Just chilling in a lighthouse.
Might hear that and think like, oh, that sounds really sad, but she was all about it. She was like, I have lived an eventful life. I'm ready to chill and like make people do puzzles, and I'm just I appreciate it.
Yeah, and she just like lived just like this wild life. Like, I swear at some point she's like, oh yeah, like I met the Queen of England, like no big deal. Like, she was just like she was so incredible. I loved her.
Pretty great.
Such a boss. Absolute member of the Order of the 50 Wings. We love you, Hilda.
Love you. Oh boy. Okay. Oh no.
So this is not the one that you're thinking of.
Okay.
We've got 2 clips for this. This first one is just delightful, us talking about perilous tides.
Square knots used to tie up packages or bundles. Granny knot incorrectly tied square knot. Photo not available. Turquoise turtle used for shoelaces because it rarely comes undone. Photo not available. Okay.
Megan, I will give you a point of luck in Perilous Tides if you manage to name drop one of these knots in one of the upcoming episodes.
I was already planning on that. Also, I don't think that we can pre-plan luck. But I was already thinking like I should probably know some of these as a sailor in Perilous Tides, so I am going to try and remember this.
It's true, you do kind of like work the rigging or whatever you do.
Whatever I do, I don't know. I work on the ship. Whatever's needed, I guess.
I don't do anything on the ship. I'm purely decoration.
That's true. That's important. Aesthetics are important.
Never learned any of the names of those knots. Never name dropped them.
You never said a single one of those knots, Megan.
No, I mean, it's okay. To be fair, when like you're shooting fireballs and stuff, it's kind of hard for me to be like, and then I go over to the rigging and I tie whatever knot I tie a granny knot, and it's exciting.
Expert bow line.
It's exciting to listen to.
That's true.
So first,
we did this very early into our Perilous Tides career. We had done like a handful of episodes at this point. And we then sort of like later discovered that we just kind of hand wave a lot of the sailing aspect of it.
Yeah, like I said, when you have people who can do the things that we do on the crew, like it's hard to take the time to describe the minutia of ship life.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know shit about sailing, so it's hard being a Madalo that doesn't know how to do anything on a ship.
Mike says new Perilous Tides opener.
Packages or bundles.
Not name pop quizzes. Okay, this also reminds me, this was back when we were thinking about a game to play in the intros for Perilous Tides. The one that I pitched that did not happen was Task handing out lengths of rope and then asking us to like do knots, and the one that could do it like the fastest and the most accurately won.
I would learn to do that. I feel like Jake would probably have us all beat though.
Probably.
I think at some point, like in the last year,
I think that'd be really fun, but I also think that would be bad radio.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great description. That would be Tass's job, is to describe who is doing what. I think at some point in this last year, Jake actually did like get rope to just practice tying knots. Like I think he was like looking up like different sailing things. I don't know, maybe it was when he was doing some sailing stuff, but he was like,
I love that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know anything about sailing, so I couldn't guess if this was done correctly, but it sounds cool.
Mike says, if I had to pick someone who'd know a ton of knots and how to tie them, I'd definitely bet on Jake. And then Amanda immediately does the spicy emoji. Fucking yes, absolutely. Penguin says, OMG, I have a gift idea for you. I don't think I saw this one, so it will be very belated.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, listen, that's why we're doing the recap. To get the presents. That's
to
not
get the
true,
gift ideas. No.
To get the gift ideas. It's absolutely not true. All right. This is without a doubt one of my favorite clips. A little bit of backstory. This is again back in the day where Megan and I were trying to do all of these games in a single evening. Eventually, that became impossible because the lengths of the games got too long, and Megan and I got too sleepy. So we are very sleepy. We are probably on like hour 4 or 5 of this game.
Exhausted. After a full day of work.
After a full day of work, Megan is very tired, and this happens.
I'm not great with words in general, especially when I'm sleepy. But here you go.
Where are we going? What are we doing?
I think we want to go to the
Katie's boat. Yep.
To the lighthouse, right?
Well, I want to go look at the information box. That's not what it's called, but
the computer.
Yeah.
The computer, baby.
Laptop is the word that I was looking for. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I did what I could. I didn't want to just say but just. Yep.
You know I'm gonna come back and clip that.
No.
I'm gonna clip it.
Yep. Sorry about that one. Sorry. Maybe that's a good explanation of why I can't ever get the stream to work right in the first place.
She's like, how do I operate this information box?
Information box. Oh man. Okay, sailboat types.
So this comes back to being on stream and being aware, like, you're trying to do puzzles, you're trying to figure something out, you're playing a game, you're interacting with another person, but also you're aware that, like, you're entertaining an audience. And so you try to not let there be a lot of dead air. And I was just completely, and I mean, I do this in real life, honestly. If I can't quite get the right words out, I will say, hey, this isn't exactly what I'm thinking or how I feel, but these are the words that are coming to mind. So I'm just going to say them so I can work through what it is I'm actually trying to say. And so I was just like, I've got to say words. I'm just going to say the words that are in my head, and we're going to figure out where I'm trying to get. And
this is an information box.
It's an information box. Tell me it's not.
So good. So good. It's one of my favorite clips. Oh my god, one of my favorite games!
Secret of Shadow Ranch, next game!
Fucking love this game.
This is such a good game. We've got quite a bit to get through with this.
We've got a lot we need to talk about when it comes to Secret of Shadow Ranch.
Okay, so overall, general idea, why we're here. We are here to go on vacation with Bess and George, who are our friends, and they are cousins, and they have relatives who own this ranch.
Yes, we are here in my home state of Arizona. This whole game is very nostalgic for me. Like all of the like interiors look like places that like I've been. I love this game. So we are here. But we're here, like, Bess and George's plane gets like delayed or something.
Their luggage gets totally lost and they get like stuck somewhere.
Yeah. So we're here by ourselves in Shadow Ranch. And some mysterious things start happening.
Not by ourselves, because we get there and the aunt and uncle are nowhere to be found. Turns out there was a snake that bit the uncle in his bedroom, and so they had to go to the hospital. So they're gone.
Right. So it's just us and like the ranch hands.
Yes. And so we're going through and trying to be like, why are there weird things happening? Because people have been having weird accidents, and this like ghostly horse has shown up. And then legend has it, it's this horse that belonged to this like outlaw, and who robbed a train, and people think he's back for revenge or something. This
Wild West bandit that we're trying to find his treasure. Oh boy, we'll
get there. So our theme was Western.
one of my favorite costumes that we've done.
Very good. This is another one that we were like, let's pair up a little bit here to do a related costume thing. So Kim is the sheriff and I'm the outlaw. And it was
Megan, you look, if I may say so respectfully, you look hot as hell in that photo.
Hey, thanks. I feel hot as hell in that photo. I was very happy with that look.
Yeah.
One thing I remember about this was through a lot of these costumes, Kim and I would be like, so what do you think? And then we'd be like, and we still do this to this day, but it's, how can you enhance your costume? And I would try and think of something that, because I'm very good at being like, what's something I can grab at the last minute and adapt it to work with this look? And so I was like, okay, well, like, it'd be really good since I'm doing the outlaw and I've got, like, the bandolier. Like, if you were, like, the sheriff, because you got the hat and, like, you got the vest, but you need like, the badge. She's like, I don't have anything. And I was like, do you have, like, a manila envelope? Like, did you get mail recently? Do you have something that, like, is orange, or, like, a Post-it, or something that could be orange that you could write sheriff on and then you could just, like, tape it to? And she was like, hold on, and like leaves, and then she comes back with it, and I was just like, yeah, we did it.
Absolutely. Just like double stick taped like a little paper sheriff's badge that like fell off of me like immediately. I was constantly trying to like pick it up and like put it back on. Where did you get the bandolier?
It was from a Halloween costume.
Amazing. I love these costumes.
I would not mind doing this costume again. This was fun.
Yeah, this is one of like my favorite. If we were in the same place on Halloween, this would be like a fun couple's costume.
For sure. This I felt very Kiss and Kate Barlow.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, definitely one of my favorite looks for this one, for one of my favorite games. So the mystery overall was we are here with all of the ranch hands. So our characters here, we've got Tex.
Oh boy, what is his name?
Yes,
Tex. Tex is his name.
He's in charge of the horses. We've got Dave.
We'll get to him.
Well, we will get to him.
We will get to Dave.
And I think he's just kind of like a hand on the ranch.
Yeah.
We have Mary. I believe her name was Mary. She runs a shop in town nearby. And Shorty, who is the cook. And our bad guy.
This is the first, like, you know, I try to I hadn't played this game in a while, and I try to like approach a lot of these games with like an open mind in terms of being like I wonder who the culprit will be, because it can be anyone. I saw Shorty and I was like immediately like, he is
Lock him up.
Lock him up.
He did it.
Lock him up.
Cuffs. Somebody have cuffs. Officers, get him. Arrest this man. He did it. I don't know what the mystery is yet. Whatever it is, he did it.
1000% him. And not just because he sent us on so many bullshit errands, but we'll get there as well. So let's talk about some of these people's deals. Let's talk about Tex for a while, because Tex was like painted as the villain.
He's got a really gruff voice.
Pretty intensely. Yeah, he was kind of mean to us. And he was like, I don't like city people. And he frequently just like disappeared all the time, and we were like, that is very sus. But actually,
we were riding by. And we saw him and Mary.
Kissing.
They were in love.
We're in love.
It was so
That's
cute.
the reason. That's the reason why he was sneaking away so often, and he was so suspicious. Was he just had like a secret girlfriend?
Yeah. And there was like some stuff with like, she was like, didn't like Bess and George's aunt and uncle for like owning the property that they did, because of like having to do with like, again, land disputes, which I was very on her side for. Obviously, it was like, yeah, like she, like they didn't want her like collecting arrowheads, and it's just like, that's not yours to say she can't collect. And so they were hiding their relationship because they were like, well, we don't want him to lose his job because they're gonna think that we're in cahoots on some nefarious stuff, when it's just like, nah.
Man, this was a very romantic game. Like pretty much wall to wall.
So lovely.
A lot of people in love.
And then Dave was there, and he did have some nefarious plans initially.
Yes. Initially.
He was there trying to find this treasure that our outlaw apparently hid on the property, because the house used to belong to the daughter of a guy, but the daughter, her name was Frances, was they were in love, her and this outlaw. And it was said that he hid the treasure for her to find. And so he was there to try and find the treasure. I can't remember why he needed it, but eventually he ended up being like, let me come clean. This is what I've been doing, but I feel bad about it. Like, here's everything I know. You have to find it.
Yeah.
Shorty was just trying to get the treasure himself. So he was causing accidents, and, like, he put the snake in their room and, cut the chicken wire and did all this, like, really bad shit to try and get people, like, to leave.
Yeah, so Dave, like, initially nefarious, but then sort of, like, ends up on our side, or, like, helping out. Like, you know, he's on the hunt for treasure, but Shorty's the one that's actually doing the sabotage.
Yeah.
And trying to find the treasure. All right.
Okay, so, dumb shit. So we are here as an Arizona vacationer.
Yes.
And then we turned into a Dirk Valentine shipper.
So let's talk about Dirk Valentine.
Ugh, please.
Okay, so Dirk Valentine is the
bar.
Is the outlaw who was in love with Frances, and they had this sort of like, we are so in love, but we can't be together because I'm like a no good outlaw,
and your dad's a sheriff,
and your dad would never approve, but we're so in love, and so he wrote Frances the most beautiful letters.
So unbelievably lovely.
So incredible. So I'm going to I'm gonna read you. Read
me a letter.
One. I will. This is, Dear Frances, I am glad that you are getting your picture painted wearing your favorite shawl. I'm gonna fucking cry. It will be a beautiful painting because you look beautiful in that shawl. I forget the name of the stitch you used to make it, but I think it is amazing that you learned how to knit a whole shawl just by reading one book. I wish I could put my mind to things like you can. I am also glad that you liked the handbag that I got you. I knew you would. I knew it would become your favorite on account of the pretty picture the beads make. I want to know all the things that you like so that I can make sure you always have them. I figure that way you will always want me around. Meet me on Friday at noon by the Big Picture Rock. I love you, Dirk. Fucking murder me.
I love him so much.
Are you kidding? I want to know all the things that you like so that I can make sure you always have them.
That way you always want me around. Take me away.
Oh, Dirk Valentine set the bar.
Set the bar so high.
He set the bar so high. And as you can see from this picture, this is only one of multiple letters that Dirk wrote, and they were all romantic.
Amazing.
They were all incredible.
The image is like, I can fix that.
They were all amazing. And also we had a phone character here as well, didn't we? Have like Charlena Purcell.
Yes.
She was writing a book about the love story between Dirk and Frances.
I can't remember
and
what
we were
the book
initially
was
like
called, though.
I forget the name of the book.
It was a very like romance novel-y, like over the top.
It was. I could probably find it. God.
Something wild hearts.
Like wind through my heart.
Wind through my heart.
Like wind through my heart. Oh God, incredible. So a lot of this game is just crying over Dirk and Frances. They were meant to be together. And a lot of the puzzles in this game, so Dirk hid his treasure for Francis because all of the puzzles were about Franny's favorite things.
So yeah, that's why the letter is like, I can't remember the stitch you used, that she used a daisy stitch. That like had a lot of clues of like her favorite flower. She had a cake that was her favorite cake that had a picture of a tulip on the front. The shawl had a stitch, or I had something. Oh no, maybe it was just the daisy stitch. Oh, the bag that he says that has the beads. The beads came together to make like a poppy or something. So we learn all her favorite flowers, and it gets us through a puzzle. But it has a very sad ending because he got put away, and her dad didn't.
Her dad like told her that like he left her,
something like that. Like he did something awful, and or maybe it was just that he caught him and put him to death, and then Francis was like, "You are not my father," because we also find letters from her dad, and it just gets really sad and then just ends. So they ended up not being together, and the treasure was never found.
Yeah, and they did not have a happy ending.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Sorry.
What we wanted more than anything for them to be like but secretly he escaped, and they got because they couldn't come back for the treasure. So we have another mood board here that gives us kind of the vibe. It's very good. We've got the cake with the tulip on the front, that was a big part of the of one of the puzzles, was trying to properly decorate this cake. One of my favorite things is so food in Nancy Drew games always looks really delicious, and I don't know, it's probably because I'm usually playing these games around dinner time, so I'm usually very hungry while I'm playing them. But I get very hungry in certain games, and one of my favorite things from Nancy Drew fans are people who have made this specific cake complete with the tulip decoration. There's like a whole group of people who have like done this recipe. I'm obsessed with it. So then some of the other things were just like, we got to ride a horse. His name was Bob.
We did Bob the horse, and we had to pass like a horse test.
Yep,
before we were allowed to.
We had to do some barrel racing and learn to use a lasso,
and also answer like trivia questions.
Yeah, well, while barrel racing.
And Carrie had to help us with that. We had to phone a friend to get Carrie to help us out.
Shorty had us collecting vegetables from the garden, so we had to read up on them and figure out which ones were ripe and ready to be picked, and we fucked it up a couple of times.
This wasn't possible.
It was pretty hard.
It was very hard because the differences were subtle. Yeah. And if there was even like one improper vegetable in there, Shorty would throw them all out and go, "This is garbage. Do it again." And
we had to like wait for them to repopulate. It was awful. This was a cellar. Wait, hold on. So this part was the very end. We found these old ruins that were like, we found like a secret entrance, and then we had to go through this maze, and of these like cliff dwellings, and like go through and we found the treasure. Guys, the treasure was a chest of gold hearts.
Fucking murder me.
They were hearts made of gold, a chest full of them for Francis.
Murder me.
He didn't steal gold hearts from a train. He had those golden bars made into hearts for her. I'm gonna cry.
He
loved her.
Francis so much.
He loved her so much.
He loved her so. They deserved to be together.
Damn, I'm so angry that they didn't get to be together. But we can see in this cellar wall here that there was a very beautiful like drawing with her name on it, and then it had a symbol that was a clue later on for her. Where, when we found access to this cellar, we ran into somebody.
Hot Dave, looking hot in the cellar.
This is where he confessed to his crimes and was honest about his intentions. And
also flirted with us. Asked if we were single.
This is true. So after we had Charlie on the walls, then came Hot Dave in the cellar.
Hot Dave in the cellar. Dave is extremely popular amongst the Nancy Drew fans. Yep. A lot of people, like according to, my my small focus group that is the Nancy Drew fan Facebook group. A lot of people are big Dave Gregory shippers. Like really think that Nancy should have given him a shot, if not just had like a little like vacation
fling
something with Dave.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. There's a reason. There's a reason he's Hot Dave in the cellar.
He is hotta. Love.
All right, so
we have a clip here, and this is just very
embarrassing.
No, it's cute.
And
it's funny.
It's cute, but it's embarrassing in a way of like, we are so much, and
we're so much.
Okay,
we're nerds.
So basically, this is going to require a little bit of context beforehand for you to understand what's happening, because without context, we look like we've lost our minds. So earlier in the game, we had found something that had to do with like atomic symbols, and like we knew that was going to come up eventually, but we didn't know how. But we were like, oh, okay, atomic, like that's gold, that's copper. Well, we know we're going to need this. We're going to need this later. Much later in the game, we finally find this fucking rock that we're supposed to find, this zebra rock, because it has these stripes on it, and we lift it up and we find a puzzle.
And this happens.
And this happens.
That's a good collection of horse names.
Those are very good. Oh shit!
What is this?
Oh shit!
I need something that will attract metal.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You know.
We're too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. How did we not talk about the magnet puzzle?
Okay, so
I hated this thing.
Here's the thing. So what happened in this clip was us seeing in the corners there were little metal pieces that had like the names like had CU for copper. Yeah. And that was the moment Kim and I were like, "Oh, this is when that comes back into place." But we couldn't get those words out because we were so excited about it, and we just went, "Oh." And we had taken an apple magnet from the fridge earlier, so we had remembered that had something to do with like, I think we need this magnet for a puzzle. And then she's like, "I need something that attracts metal." I'm going to play this again, and I'm going to pause so we can talk about what this looks like.
Good collection of words.
Yeah. Okay. So, essentially, you use the little apple to hover over the metal pieces and get them to the correct, like, space that they're supposed to go to. You can't see behind these wooden slats. So, like, this comes this way and then, like, maybe dips down this way and comes up this way and back up this way. So you basically just have to mouse over until it, like, clunks and drops the magnet. And then go back and find the magnet and go until it clunks and then figure out the path underneath. It was...
This puzzle.
So exhausting. We spent forever here.
This puzzle is so finicky. Like, it's impossible to find your way around. Trying to guide the magnet is not very intuitive. Like, sometimes it'll just drop for no reason, and so you're not sure, like, is it dropping because I hit a wall? Is it dropping just because, like, I picked up the coin in a weird spot? Like, it's just, this puzzle is so bad that the devs, not bad, this puzzle is so tricky that the devs actually, like, built in, like, a cheat.
Yep.
There is a dev intended skip for this puzzle, where if you do something like weird, like if you like click on that zebra rock like 13 times or something,
back away and then come back and then back away and come back or something like that.
You will get a version of this puzzle that doesn't have the blocks in it, so you can just do it.
We didn't know that.
We didn't know about that, and we paid dearly.
Yeah.
That's a good collection of...
Okay. I think this is gonna be the last one that we do today because this is a really good one to go out on.
And it's gonna take a minute.
It's gonna take a while to talk about. Okay. So where to begin with Blackmore Manor? My favorite game of the Nancy Drew series. Penguin says, I think this is the first one I joined for. You joined at a good time. So we are here. We are checking in on, like, the daughter of, like, a family friend who recently married, who is American, but she recently married, like, a, like, British dignitary or something. and married him, and then became stepmom to his daughter. And then she kind of like mysteriously sort of like falls ill. And so we are here in the house trying to investigate like what is going on.
Because she won't talk to her mom.
Yeah. And then just like a bunch of creepy stuff happens. So we've had a little bit of scary situations in previous Nancy Drews. This is the first one that I would say like really sort of turns it up a notch in terms of like scares.
Spookiness,
like there are some frightening moments in this game.
Okay, so our theme for this one was Victorian.
Yes. Nailing it. You could tell that this was like peak pandemic because my hair is just becoming more and more brunette as these pictures go.
Yeah. I wasn't blue at all. My hair was so long. I was able to like fully pull it back.
But yeah, like Megan looks so much like Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite in this photo, and I love it.
I really want to do that cosplay someday.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm here with my little tea set, my little cameo pin. Megan is wearing a corset that will be very important later.
Yep.
Extremely important.
I think I didn't include it in here, but I had taken a picture for social media because I have a long floor length like red skirt underneath the corset, and it's kind of difficult to walk in. It's just like a maxi skirt. But if I pull up one corner and tuck it in, it's much easier to walk in. And so I had taken a picture where it was like me with a full length skirt and like the arms down to the wrists, the sleeves down to the wrists. And I was like, when you have to teach grammar to Victorian children by day, but bare knuckle box or whatever it is teachers do with their free time by night. And then the other one I had like the skirt hiked up and like the sleeves rolled, and it was really good.
Amazing. All right, let's get into the mystery. We've got a lot to talk about with this
First,
game.
we need to talk about Jax's Victorian look.
Okay, so this, trying to remember what game this was for, stymied us for a little bit because we saw the spyglass and we got confused and we thought this was
Pirate Ocean.
Yeah, we thought this was Danger on Deception Isle. Incorrect. So a lot of this game is talking about the ancestors that have previously lived in Blackmore Manor, all of whom were like kind of incredible and like very famous for like one particular thing, and like each member of the family had like a customized coat of arms
and like
that they
portrait.
Yeah, and portraits and coat of arms. It's like so fucking cool.
Yeah.
So
the
Jax
Penvillans
here
figured it out.
Yeah, the Penvillans were amazing.
Speaking of which, she just showed up in chat.
She is here. Jax, we have been singing your praises in the costume department. We love this one. Jax here is dressed as one of the ancestor Penvillans. Who was like an astronomer or something like that. Yeah.
So good.
Incredible.
Okay, so going into this, the husband is away. We don't have a picture here of the wife, Linda, but she's here. Don't worry. We'll get to her later.
We'll see her. We'll get her.
We have this guy. I want to say his name was Nigel.
Nigel sounds right to me.
He was there doing research on the Penvillans.
Yes.
He
was like writing a book or something.
Yeah. This lady, don't remember her name. She was kind of like, I think she's his aunt. Not his aunt. The husband's.
Ethel? No, it's not. It's not Ethel. We'll get to Ethel.
I don't remember her name, but
Mrs. something.
Yeah. She's the aunt of the husband, and she takes care of plants. And then she's like a super like intense, like very brusque, very formal. Ethel here is a tutor. Now, she comes from a long line of tutors. Her family has always tutored the Penvillans. So she's
incredible.
Yeah.
To me.
I guess pick your career path.
I come from a long line of tutors for the children of this specific family. Amazing.
Yeah, and she is the tutor of Jane. So Jane is the very creepy daughter of the husband. And she wants to tell us gossip all the time and tell us stories. Baby says, oh, I thought you meant tutors.
Tutors. No. Yeah, Jane's character model is distressing to me on a lot of levels. Yeah. Her little skinny arms, her large head.
Mrs. Drake. That's who this is.
Mrs. Drake, thank you. Did the artist just forget how legs work? Maybe.
Well, she's like kind of sitting on her legs, like sideways, like you can't see, but that's how I'm sitting right now. But she was very much like sitting on her bed, and she's always like, "Do you want to play a game?" And like, we'll make us play games.
She was just like really kind of like
she was lonely.
She was lonely, and she like missed like her mom.
Yes, because her parents divorced.
Yeah, her mom, her biological mom was like an actress or something.
Yes. So the story, the thing is, she is pissed that her dad remarried, but she's pretending like she's not, and she like loves her new mom, and she's like calling her mom and shit are like already like they just got married, and she apparently like flipped a switch and was just like, I love Linda. Reality doesn't love Linda. She's just like, this is not my mom. My dad brought her in. Our family is supposed to be blah 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 blah. She has been convincing Linda that she activated a curse and that she is being transformed into the Beast of Blackmore.
Like, she convinced her stepmom that she is becoming a werewolf.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible.
So you'll see here, we have a picture where Nancy is looking through an eye hole in a painting into Linda's room, because we never see Linda. She is hidden behind a curtain that goes all the way around her bed. And she won't talk to anyone, and she'll talk to us, and then she'll just cry, and then she'll laugh, and then she'll get really angry, and she kicks us out at one point. So we look through here, and we like the mom says at some point, she's always had very dry skin. She's using lotion, and so she's reaching for lotion, and her hand's covered in hair. And so it's just like, oh shit, what is going on?
And Jane is somehow like manipulating stuff where it's like that lotion is secretly stuff that's like making like her hair grow like a ton.
Here's the thing: is she had a guinea pig that like got sick and like lost its hair, and she had an uncle who had a toupee that she mentions briefly. That later we find a paper from the uncle saying like, here you go, Jane, this might help your guinea pig. And so she has like hair growth cream that she's putting in Linda's lotion, and then like fucking with her medication to make her like mood unstabilized. It's really not okay.
It's not okay.
We see
that,
a resurgence.
That dad really needs to parent. Bull is back.
We talked about this earlier. Bull's back. It's one of the games that Jane wants us to play. She has like a little chest full of games, and it's all previous games from other things. There are a lot of secret passages in this castle, in this manor.
Yeah, just like a ton, a lot, all the time.
One of them is we find this little room, and there's this little dragon statue, and we have to turn all of its feet to face in certain directions.
Certain way.
And a passage opens up. That's a slide.
It's a slide.
We go down the slide, and at one point we have to have a ball, and we have to hit a target.
You have to throw a ball, and this was hard.
It was hard. It was fun though.
Yeah, it was hard, but it was very cool. We had to do it multiple times.
We come sliding out a coat of arms into this like area, this like foyer to this manor. All of these pillars have like different statues on them that have little pieces that are missing. Lots and lots of puzzles in this game. They're all very cool. They're all tied to the history of this family, and so we get to like deep dive into the lore. Kim had talked about them having their own coat of arms. There are clues. So it turns out originally this family line, it was like alchemists, and they're trying to, it was essentially a whole Philosopher's Stone thing, like elixir of life, whatever. Like, turn things into gold. They passed down information. They were, like, hiding something. I can't remember exactly what it was. I want to say it ended up being, like, a meteorite or something.
Something like that,
but they passed it down, and each generation was meant to add another layer. So that,
like, another puzzle to, like, further protect the family secret.
Yes. And so here in this corner, we see Ethel leading Jane through a ritual that had to do with going to the center of this flooring and pouring oil down a pipe.
Incredible. So here's where we get the kind of like lore. So this is the true purpose of Ethel. Like I am serious.
Yeah.
Like her family line is supposed to educate the young Penvillans into like learning about their family history so that they can one day like solve the family secret, like find the hidden treasure, and then have all of the knowledge to then create their own coat of arms.
Why
like,
could I not have
own...
been born into this family? This is perfect.
Like literally, yes. Incredible. I would love something like this, like just some sort of like ancient family secret.
Yep.
That like every generation gets to like add a different thing onto it.
There were so many like layers to this because it had been generations, so we had to learn all about these different people, and they all had like really cool stuff that they did, and then figure out like what is their puzzle connected to, and then solve it. So I'm trying to think of like what else we have on here. Oh, Ethel just fucking pops up.
Ethel is the scariest in an already scary game. Ethel is the scariest
jump scare. Like you turn a corner and she's just there. She like steps in front of you. And people make memes about how terrifying it is. Terrifying
Ethel.
So in the conservatory, Mrs. Drake has a huge pitcher plant. And if you touch it too many times, it swallows you whole. You can see Nancy's feet out of here.
And by too many, I mean twice.
Yeah.
If you touch it twice, it will eat you.
I can't remember why. No, it's not the pitcher plant. It's another. She has a lot of carnivorous plants, but there's a little Venus flytrap that we need to get to a piece of paper while Mrs. Drake is away, but we can't get to it because this like little carnivorous flytrap is like, So we have to go get turkey.
We have to feed it turkey.
And feed it to this plant. Also, in getting turkey, because there's a whole food delivery system. There's no like kitchen or like
no one's cooking at Blackmore Manor for whatever reason.
Yeah, so we have to order from like a pub that like delivers us food, but it's all like we have to learn like Cockney rhyming slang to be able to order the right things because we need turkey and we need a pat of butter.
A pat of butter. It's very important.
I can't even remember why. To grease something up, but
to grease something. But we've always interpreted Nancy's inventory as just her pockets. And she fully just puts a loose pat of butter.
Loose pats of butter. So this is where loose pats of butter in my pockets originated.
Listen, you never know. Like Nancy will not bring a flashlight anywhere. Will not bring a screwdriver. Will not bring batteries.
Nope.
Will have loose pats of butter though.
Guaranteed.
That's a guarantee.
And then lastly on here, one of the ancestors had a parrot. And so that parrot still lives here. This parrot is Lulu. Now, in Jane's room, there's a little, like, easy bake oven. And we can make treats, little snack cakes for Lulu.
Cakes.
They are cakes. They're called cakes. To feed to Lulu. So we have to learn about parrots and what they can eat and what we can put in this. And Lulu has been around for a very long time and knows a lot of secrets. So
Lulu knows so many secrets, but Lulu is stingy and will not give them up unless you give her a cake.
Yeah, so you'll ask something and she'll go, treat first, Lulu wants treat first. And you have to be like, okay,
cake first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so then she says cake first. And so she'll just go like, cake first. So.
That started.
Okay, when we're playing these games, Kim and I as people, as performers, whatever, like
just riff on stuff.
I don't traditionally have a lot of improv experience. So I don't really go into things thinking like, okay, I'm improving. But I think naturally we are very good at yes-anding each other.
So a thing happened during Blackmore Manor. I think we can go to the next slide.
So sometimes our fellow castmates
join us in chat.
Yeah. And I don't remember how much of this we read out, but Rev was in chat during this.
And so I'm going to give a little bit of backstory before I let this I'm not joking, 6-minute clip play. It is a lot.
It needs to be that long.
It needs to be that long. So we were at a portion of the game where Lulu demanded cake. And Rev, who will admit to having a sweet tooth, Rev loves sweets.
Yeah.
Rev sort of joked, being like, "Oh, LOL, same. Like cake first." And so we heard that, and we then just started just kind of just like riffing about like, oh yeah, like Rev won't do anything unless we like bribe him with cake.
Yep.
And then it just started building upon itself.
Yep.
And I think we're just gonna let it go.
Also, I do want to note that, we'd been playing for several hours at this point. I was sitting in a very uncomfortable chair, wearing a very tight corset, as I was pretty hungry. Not that easy to breathe in to start. I'll just say that.
I think this is one that we can probably full screen.
Oh, can we? Great.
Yeah.
Cake first, little hungry.
Unavailable.
Cake first,
Okay.
cake first.
I'm gonna start over.
Yeah. Okay.
Cake first, little hungry. Cake first, cake first.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I say whenever they tell me to hit record an episode. Cake first, cake. I know. We know, Rev. We're there.
Yeah, we have to yell at the guys. Can someone please get Rev his cake?
Can someone please Postmate Rev some cupcakes so we can start the episode?
Someone feed Rev his recording cake so we can get on with the show.
He literally sits there with like a whole hot fudge sundae and then proceeds to eat it while we play our game.
We have to sit and wait and watch him. He doesn't
We have
even
to watch him.
He doesn't even let
You're
us
gonna
turn
need a
off
bigger
our
bowl.
cameras.
No.
We have to sit there.
We have to sit and watch him eat a whole cake. It's like Bruce Bogtrotter.
Yes, it is very much Brucey. It's very much a Brucey situation. Eventually, I stopped being jealous, and now I just cheer him on every time.
Yeah, I have to check in. A new thing to add to my writer recording cake. I'm just laughing at the thought of all of us being forced to watch a Rev eat a whole cake before we do an episode. That's why we schedule several hours to record an episode, because like most of it is just watching Rev eat a cake.
And then he has to sit and like digest for a second. And if we try to like get up out of our chairs, he just yells at us and says, "No, you sit back down. You watch me eat the cake."
Sarah says, "Now I have to figure out
Guess
how to
she's
ship
not
a
in
cake
her
every
room.
week." Yep. Think of the show. The show only survives
Figure it out.
thanks to your generous cake
We
donations.
can't record until Rev is at his recording cake. So
Rev says the itemized events that happen at each meeting: intro, cake time, recap, pickups, new episode, company business. This whole story actually makes me super antsy because I can't think of many things that make me more uncomfortable than someone watching me eat.
Yes.
No, that's part of the nonsense. We have to sit in the room and then close our eyes.
yeah, we're not
He
allowed.
makes
We're not allowed to leave, but we also can't watch.
He makes Cake and Taz face the corner like it's Blair Witch Project.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm okay. Oh fuck. Holy
I'm gonna have to go back and clip all of this.
I don't know. There's just something about imagining that is so fucking funny. Oh god.
Oh,
my god.
Oh boy.
I can't breathe. This corset's so tight. Oh my god. Oh. I'm gonna pass out. I'm literally gonna pass out from laughing so hard. Holy shit. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And see, guys,
That's done.
this is the secret behind the scenes lore that you don't
Can't
learn
check
unless
that
you
off
tune
till
in
it's
every week for
done.
Mystery
Till you watch
Detectives.
Mystery Detectives, a completely
Yeah.
unrelated series. Where you
This
get,
is
you
when-
get the behind the scenes stuff of a completely different show.
That's
This
done.
is when we spill
Check.
the tea about our coworkers.
I gotta stop thinking about it.
He says, Megan, you can't pass out. It's against the cake watching rules. There is no escape in the embrace of the void.
Oh my god.
It keeps going. No, there's more to this. I
We
swear to
literally
God.
have to put on
our like ceremonial.
Kim, you
recording
have to stop.
cake.
I'm not kidding.
Blind.
I'm either gonna throw up or pass out.
Our blindfolds. We have to put on our blindfolds.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
You pass
Hi,
out.
Nancy.
When you come to, there's 2 cakes in front of him. It begins again.
Oh shit. Oh god. It's hell. It's just a loop. It's just an eternal loop.
I should get going. Toodles.
Oh my god.
Y'all are killing me. This is so good. The lore, the deep, deep cake lore.
Oh my god. Okay, what am I doing? What am I even doing here?
I don't even know.
I don't
even know
What is
where we
this
are
thing?
anymore.
Okay, evening or people are definitely asleep by midnight.
The stream went south when Megan threw up from laughing on stream. Look. The things we do for our jobs. Oh, Mike says, I'm glad we finally talked about the deep cake lore. That's the only reason I subbed. You're welcome.
Gotta do that. Kim, stop laughing. It's a turkey.
I'm so
Look
sorry.
it. I just put a piece of turkey in a plant. It's great.
You know, I'm really sad that there's the vast majority of the Discord is not going to know about the cake lore.
Well, that's what you get.
That's what you get when you miss it.
That's what you get when you miss instruction.
Rev says, thank God only like the 20 of us are going to know about the cake lore.
Until somebody references it, and then everyone's like, wait, what? Cake lore?
Mike said we should have clipped that. Oh, rest assured. I'm going back once this is done, and I'm gonna be clipping like cake lore, like 1, 2, 3, 4, however
Hello,
long
Nancy.
it takes to get the full story,
The full breakdown?
the full breakdown of the cake lore.
I meant my breakdown.
Oh yes.
What do you think of
Also
Ethel
Megan's
Boston?
breakdown.
Wow. Yeah, only like the 20 like people who were there that day are ever gonna know about it.
JK. Everyone knows about it.
I literally like almost threw up. Like I went back and I watched that clip again, and when I put my head down, there is like, I want to say it was like 18 seconds where I just didn't breathe. Like literally could not take a breath. I was laughing so hard, and at one point I just had to be like, Kim, stop talking about it because I'm just gonna keep laughing. And like, I remember like starting to see spots. I was gonna like pass out. Oh my gosh.
So Rev giving one innocent comment spilled into an entire riff about us being forced to be present in the room while he eats, but we can't watch
But we're not allowed to watch.
We're not allowed to watch. It has inspired Crafts. Jax crocheted a cake for Rev and gave it to him. It also inspired a very special, very cursed piece of fan art, which is on the next slide.
Sarah also made one, I think, for one of the kitchen challenges.
Yes.
It was so good.
Made a recording cake that said like "Don't look."
Oh yeah, and there was like an org mission about it too.
Mm-hmm.
I
inspired some org missions.
I didn't know much. So this is the art. This is the fan art.
This is some very cursed fan art by Critcha artist Rem. They posted this incredible Cake Time Don't Look that's extremely like very cursed, very Blair Witch. And I love it so much.
I really do appreciate how me and Tass are all the same size.
Are all the same height.
She was like, I can't not make Jade taller than everyone else. That would just be unrealistic in these stick figures.
Simply must be taller.
They did such a good job though, because it really captures the vibe of what.
Yeah, it does.
What recording cake became.
Yeah. Incredible. I think that is a great place to end.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm not sure how we, you know, if we do anything after Cake Lore, it's going to be a disappointment. So there's going to be a part 2 of this.
At least a part 2.
Maybe a part 3.
It might be a 3-week.
It might be a 3-week. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us for part 1 of our extremely thorough recap of the Nancy Drew games. This is a lot of fun.
This is great. This is really wonderful to like go back through all of this because there's a lot that I've forgotten about, but it's just
there's a lot of like really fun, just like nice, really nice memories, and like a really you know, this has been such like a special thing that Megan and I have done every week for like over a year and a half at this point, and it's really cool to be able to like share that and like celebrate it and give it the kind of send off that we'd like to see. So this is absolutely, I'm gonna be like immediately porting this over to YouTube in the next few days so that our Nancy Drew recaps can live forever.
Yeah. You know, like just seeing everybody like post about it in Twitch, in the chat, and talk about like, this is when I started watching, and oh, I remember this, and just like the little bits and goofs and everything, but like thinking about like how many of you have been here since the beginning or joined in and have stuck with us every Thursday, like it means a lot. Kim and I often joke about how when we started this stream tonight, I told the story about how we came up with this idea. And I think Kim and I also both shared some fears. Mm-hmm. Being cast in the Crit Show, a show that we loved dearly, and we felt really, really honored to be chosen for these positions, but also there was this weight of like having to uphold the like how entertaining and funny and engaging the show and the story and this community was to us. And we had a little bit of fear of like, you know, we have to uphold that. We have to we have to do it proud. And we had joked about how much we love the Nancy Drew games, and we were like, yeah, and then we'll just play the games, and like who would watch that, right? Like nobody's gonna watch this, but like that's okay. Like I don't even care.
Like at least we'll have fun.
Yeah, we were like, this is for us, and like we might, even if we don't have a single viewer, like I'm still gonna enjoy playing this with you, and it's gonna be fun, and just to see like what it's blossomed into, and the like just the jokes and the merch that have come from it is
oh yeah, I'm wearing merch that has our faces on it right now.
Yeah, I mean it's still wild. I mean, you know, we've got a lot to get through yet. But just it really, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all of you for making Mystery Detectives as special as it has been. I know it sounds like we are like doing a eulogy. I swear Mystery Detectives will continue beyond Nancy Drew.
It's just that Nancy is how it started, and it means so much to us in these games.
Yeah.
These games mean a lot to us, but also it has been what Mystery Detectives has been to us. And we're really, really excited to see what it develops into from here. We've got a lot of games lined up that we're really excited to play. But it is definitely, you know...
it is like a passing of the torch, or like a transition. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I'm gonna very quickly just burn through some announcements. So Monday, the 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Please join myself, Rev, and Forest Leader, our guest GM for Ghostbusters International. We're doing a little special thing that Monday. We are doing a roundtable that's all about safety tools, talking about the safety tools that we use both on stream and while we are recording, and talking about how we use them, why we use them, why we like them, as well as also taking chat questions about stuff like that. I am looking forward to it. I am always very excited to talk about how to make your table the coziest place possible. So I'm looking forward to talking about that.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea, and I think that it's going to be really cool to watch.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Tuesday the 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We hit the Patreon tier that unlocks a tarot stream done by me. I am going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern doing tarot readings for people in Twitch chats. It will be first come, first served, and I will try to get through as many of them as possible, as well as just sort of like talking tarot with all of you. I know that there are a few tarot practitioners that are in the Crit Crew, as well as people who would like to learn more about it. I'm also like very interested in like hearing other people's interpretations of the tarot spreads that I do and like the tarot readings that I do. That's one of my favorite things about tarot, is that things don't, everything means different things to different people. So it should be cool, like very chill, very relaxed. I'm super looking forward to that. So hopefully some of you can hang out with me on Tuesday for that. Wednesday, the 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern, it is Dead by Hump Day with Tass. He is so good at that game and so much fun to watch, and I love that he is here every Wednesday. It's very cool. And then Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, please join us for part 2 of our Nancy Drew recap. This has been
we'll see
so
how far
fun,
we get,
so special. We'll see how far we get. So yeah, it's a full streaming week for us, 4 days right in a row. I'm very excited about it. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and a great weekend, and we will see you next week for part 2.
Bye.
Bye.